amazing, and Na'Vi are amazing.
That's right, and it's time for our crunchy story of the day. It is, in fact, a rematch of destiny. You have two teams that have fought tooth and nail over the past several years. It's a trilogy, and it is, in fact, going to be a grand finals rematch dating back to Riyadh 2024. Brigida, these two teams have a history. They have met many times over. For one, it's a revenge matchup. For another, they just want to reclaim glory.
And the last time we saw a revenge matchup, at least here in MWI 2026, the story, the script actually has flipped. And that was, mind you, Na'Vi as well. It just happened in the exact same tournament wherein they did not allow themselves to be defeated by GXP twice. So I wonder how much more it means for them, because they've considered Vitality as their rivals for not just a single tournament, but for 2 years in a row.
That's right. And you said it was a trilogy in the back room. Now we come on to the main stage. Again, she just broke down some of that history. But again, for these two, it seems quite personal. Not only from, of course, a team perspective, but also from the organization perspective. And you brought two wonderful players up. It's time to look at them head to head because the stats are incredibly close. Of course, we're talking Fumi Echo and not Ayanami representing the EXP lane.
If you look at the KDA, that's because Fumi Echo's heroes are more on the ones that can carry the team alone. Last year, I called her the island of her own, and it really showed in her playstyle. As long as Fumi Echo can play away from the team and cause havoc elsewhere, their opponents will struggle. Meanwhile, not Ayanami, she takes a lot of hits for Na'Vi as a sub-roamer, as a sub-frontliner.
Yep.
Brigida, let's take a look at some of the emotions from Na'Vi, because it has been elation. It's also been heartbreak for some matches, certain times, right? For Na'Vi to make it to the grand finals, they had to fight hard, because at some points during the tournament, there were questions revolving around how good this team really was.
And maybe a bit more on what their identity actually was, right? Because we already compared not Ayanami, we already compared her to Fumi Echo, and I think not Ayanami is currently leading the tournament in terms of most heroes used. 10 in total, which means to say that they definitely had a bit of time trying to figure out what worked best for them. But you see it, now that they finally do have an answer, they're currently on a 9-winning streak in terms of their games, and that's a feat that you'll definitely have to get over.
Phil, Na'Vi is hitting their stride, right? They're going into grand finals looking like a true contender for the championship, looking like potentially what they were back in 2024, of course, with 2 new additions as well. The competitors walked in this morning, and luckily we had Rose on site to catch up with some of them.
Hey guys, good morning. For our third placer match, we have Geltec Cyber Team going up against Galaxy Phoenix, and the girls has just arrived at the venue. Good morning.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Today I'm fine, and our team fine. Yeah.
Okay, how do we feel about going up against Galaxy Phoenix in this third placer match?
I think we could win 3-0.
Oh, wow, confident! Okay, why are we so confident going up against Galaxy Phoenix? Because everybody is saying they're very strong.
I think, just I think.
Just something you feel today. Okay, is there anything you want to say to, Galaxy Phoenix before we begin today's match?
I think you're a strong opponent. Good game. Oh,
good luck. Thank you very much, girlie. I hope to see you later. Oh, she's confident in a 3-0 best of 5 today. But over there, we can see that Galaxy Phoenix has also just arrived at the arena. So you know what? Let's go get the girlies out for a little bit of a chat. Because who knows? They might think it's not going to be a 3-0 in favor of Geltec Cyber Team. Let's go. Let's see if they're ready. Hello, Winnie. Good morning. How are we doing today?
Doing good. Doing good.
You managed to prepare well for today's match?
Yeah.
Now, just now I was talking to Geltec Cyber Team, and they think that your third placer match will end in a 3-0 and they're gonna win. What do you think about that?
I'll let them think what they're thinking, but we will beat them.
Oh, let them think what they want to think, but you guys will beat them. I love that, Winnie. Good luck. I'll see you later. Bye. Oh, it's getting spicy in here. Let's bring the spice over to the Land of Dawn.
is in our DNA.
បាយយកលេខ3លេខ4ហ្នឹងទៀត AI ថាយើងបាន 50k មកផ្ទះអូខេ
It becomes
អរ
our
គុណច្រើនអរគុណច្រើន
superpower.
សុភ័ក្រ thank you ដែលបានសែន 20000 រៀល
Now
សួរ
imagine
ថា
an entire
មួយអា
city
ទិត្យនេះអត់
being
ឃើញ
built to
Andy Line សោះហ្នឹងអត់ដឹង
supercharge
ដែរ
it.
ថា Andy រវល់អី
Kadir City,
ចាំ Andy Line
powered
ខ្ញុំសួ
by
រខ្លួនឯ
play.
ងមកខ្ញុំក៏អត់សូវដឹងដែរ
The spiciness is already starting, and it should be spicy. We've got a lot on the line, not only for the clubs, but also, of course, for the championship money to be earned. There's so much to talk about. Brigida, the competitors, the ladies, they're looking savage today.
I'm glad we see Winnie actually in that kind of spirit, especially I think she was one of the players who was really forced to play out of her comfort yesterday, who slightly had a bit of a struggle in the gold lane, but now with that confidence, I think she'd be okay.
Yeah, I think she's going to be just fine. Winnie has been one of the biggest talking points whenever she's playing, at least here on the desk, as well as from the caster perspective. Of course, Grand Finals is going to be incredible. Coming up, though, next is going to be our third and fourth place matchup, and it's going to be a good one. It's Galaxy Phoenix versus Geltech Cyber Team. These two lady rosters are wonderful. They have fought hard to make it to this very point, and you know what? Now that they're here, they're not going to waste that opportunity. Yes, they don't have a shot at the championship, but they do have a shot. And again, life-changing money potentially. We got Navi versus Team Vitality. That's going to be starting at 2 CEST. And you know what? The emotions from Navi and Vitality again have sometimes been happiness, have sometimes been sadness. They have gone through the absolute gauntlet to be to this point. But you know what I appreciate, Ridmar? Looking at the emotions from the players, even though when they do get down and out, they somehow, some way, find a way to come back.
Yeah, look at Navi. The questions about whether or not they're able to make it to the grand final started early on. They got knocked down to the lower bracket. They almost got eliminated. But then suddenly they went on an undefeated run.
That's right. And for the club championship, this matchup means a lot. You have two types, number 1 and number 2, this year for the club championship. Trav, walk me through it.
It's finals day in MWI, and today either Navi or Team Vitality will be putting yet another frame in the Esports World Cup totem. Team Vitality coming into this one as the heavy favourites, but Navi had a few more pushbacks along the way and started quite slow in MWI. However, Navi sit on top of the Club Championship leaderboard and at the moment would be the ones taking this trophy home. Team Vitality have got to bridge that gap by getting this win and that valuable crown of MWI. Stay tuned as we carry on talking about all things Club Championship.
Ooh, Club Championship is looking spicy. It's Navi at the top. Team Vitality just below them. And whoever wins this tournament could very well either hold on to first or maybe overtake first. It's getting crazy up at the top. We mentioned earlier, Team Falcons were eliminated a couple days ago, so they will not have a chance at first place today. But again, for Navi, Vitality, my goodness, do they have a tremendous lead, and they're looking to go even further.
This is actually such a very relevant matchup. I can only imagine the fans, especially from Navi, to grow more and more in numbers, especially later on.
Yeah, but for the fans of Team Vitality, they are going to be showing up in droves later to support their girls.
That's right. Well, it's Galaxy Phoenix versus Geltech Cyber Team. This matchup is about to go down. No mercy for third. One final chance to leave Paris with pride. Not only pride, but also $20,000 additional dollars. It's 30,000 going to fourth place. 50,000 for third place. Rinmar, what does that extra $20,000 mean for our regions, for our competitors?
It's life-changing. We've heard so many players over the years talk about how just placing a little bit higher has changed their lives. It's helped them change the lives of their families as well, because a lot of our players here, they're not fighting for themselves, they're fighting for their families. And these two represent fighting for their teams, Kiyoe and Fa. You get the Ice Queen, you get the Fearless Queen, two junglers that represent what it means to be a fearless savage in the line of dawn.
And definitely in terms of what their regions have been able to achieve as well, their organizations. I think this is such a feat if you're actually able to accomplish a podium finish, because that really what makes the biggest difference as well, aside from the money. You really get to make sure that you get to end your run in at least top 3.
Absolutely, in top 3 to podium is a tremendous accomplishment. Hey, everybody out there, it's Rhino Day. Brand new interactive effect for Rhino Day is available now. Check it out and join the celebration. Eterna was up here earlier yesterday, and she was pumped up for Rhino Day. So am I. Get involved and earn yourself some of those wonderful stickers, skins, and everything you could possibly get. MLBB, they do it right. Going back to our key head-to-head, though, you do have 2 phenomenal players who have given their all. And it is the Ice Queen versus the Fearless Queen, right? 2 dominant players. Fall, though, I think, has to get the edge, though. I feel like we've been screaming her name non-stop, not only on the desk, but also, of course, whenever you think about the casters. Again, going back to that head-to-head, going back to these 2 phenomenal players, what do they truly bring to the roster? And is it possible to shut them down once they get going?
I think they're both flashy, but in a way, stats-wise, Fa is a much consistent jungler in terms of that. I think she's leading, especially in terms of highest kill, and that just goes to show how active they are across the map. But you feel for Geltech that they try to move more as a unit, in a sense that they do take their time and they take it step by step.
Now, Rinmar, one thing that I really found interesting, shout out to everybody on the back end doing the stats, making the storylines. You guys are genuinely incredible. But one of the stats really stood out to me, or at least 2 of them, I should say, for Fa. KDA, KOA, relatively even. Fa does edge out KOA there. But when we talk turtle control, 50% success rate for Fa. On the opposite side for Lord control, 58% success rate, which KOA 24% success rate for turtle control, for Lord 39%. So it looks like Fa, in all regards, at least when we're talking about the lane that she conquers, has KOA outmatched.
Yeah, it really is a reflection of how, pun intended, self-reflections, of how they play as a team. Galaxy Phoenix, they want to get those objectives because they know that it empowers their more aggressive nature, so they will do everything they can to get it, even if it means it looks like it's not the best time for them to do so. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Geltech, they're willing to give those objectives. You can go ahead and take that. We're taking other objectives in the map, or we're going to take you down after you get what you wanted from the turtle and the Lord.
Yeah, just to add to that, I think it's also because of what kind of comps Galaxy Phoenix tends to really go for. They're the only team who likes to utilize the Farsa, the amount of early game damage that you could really see for them, which is why I understand why they just want to keep rolling.
Well, it's time to go to the stage, get the finals days started, take it away.
Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, it is finals day here at EWC 26. MWI has lived up to the billing every single day, and we are finally about to see who is going to lift this trophy, Damascus.
Absolutely. Today is the day for grand finals, but before that, an important 3rd place match coming up. No consolation prize, man. There is a lot of regional rivalries, club points for the entire EWC. An extremely important match for all the teams, of course, the pride of coming back at the highest placement ever.
You know what, I must say, you look amazing right now, Damascus. I see what's going on right now, brother. And speaking of amazing things, the level of play people have to understand. The level of play with all these players, the amount of dedication, the skill is absolutely unbelievable, and we are about to see the best that MLBB Women's has to offer.
Absolutely. So without further ado, let's talk about our first team reaching out here to the 3rd place match, qualifying out of Cambodia for the highest placement ever. Make some noise for Team Galaxy Phoenix! Team qualifying out of Cambodia. This is the highest placement ever for the region. That might be a newcomer. They overthrew the best of their region and went 2-0 against Navi, 2-0 against Falcons Mena, 2-1 against Seda. Unfortunately lost the run back against Navi, but an incredible run throughout this bracket, and maybe a clean 3rd place finish, Rob.
Phenomenal performance for them up to this point, as you said, Damascus, but it is not going to be easy for them to win that extra $20,000 and the regional pride, because their opponents are none other than Geltech Cyber Team.
Geltech Cyber Team has proven that EECA is a consistent force in the world of MLBB. This performance has already guaranteed that they have or at least matched the placement that this region got 2 years ago at MWI 2024, and now we're going to see if they walk away with the third place finish. That said, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time. We have our third place match officially set. Let's get into it and send things back to the desk.
Ooh, Damascus, Hollywood Rob TV. I see the both of you looking great. After all, you should. It is, in fact, finals day, and the ladies have taken the stage to play for third place. But again, that's a podium finish. That is also a $50,000 prize pool, or $50,000 purse going, of course, to the winner. Two Titans have fought hard to make it to this point. Who's leaving Paris with pride? Will it, of course, be Galaxy Phoenix, or on the opposite side, Geltech Cyber Team? Now, coming into the tournament, the new meta discussion was very real. And I gotta say, it's been incredibly impressive watching the diverse hero pool we have had throughout the entirety of the 5 days of MWI. We're talking 81 unique heroes across 60 games. And you know what? Rose, I heard yesterday you caught up with Geltech Cyber Team after their matchup. Let's hear what they had to say.
Now, what are the lessons that you girls have actually learned throughout this MWI that could be applied to future tournaments that you guys will be participating in?
Я думаю, то, что какие-то уроки и ошибки мы будем уже обсуждать с тренерами. Пока что мы еще немного не отошли от игр. Вот, обязательно все разберем с тренерами, с аналитиками, сделаем выводы.
Well, you know, I believe that we have a lot of homework to do. Right now, I guess we are still in the zone of the last match, and we'll need some time to discuss the lesson learned and the homework with our coaches, with our analysts. This is something that we will be doing for sure.
You know what, girls, thank you very much, and I hope to see you girls come back stronger in tomorrow's third place match up against Galaxy Phoenix. That's it from us.
Brigida, I mentioned just before that great interview with Rose that 30 unique heroes have been used from Geltech. #2 in diversity across all the rosters playing when it comes to MWI. On the opposite side, though, Galaxy Phoenix not so bad themselves. 25 unique heroes. The point is, in comparison, Geltech Cyber Team barely edges out Galaxy Phoenix in their versatility and their ability to use multiple heroes, which means going into our pick and ban process in just about a minute's time, I want to say Geltech might be able to edge out Galaxy Phoenix.
But that's also knowing that Galaxy Phoenix have only just recently explored their options in the gold lane. Mostly it's just been on the Claude, but despite that, they only have a 5-hero differential with Geltech Cyber Team. So I think that also just goes to show that they somewhat maybe have something else to show us.
Yeah, when it comes to denying picks from Galaxy Phoenix, Geltech Cyber Team, they have the easiest job in the world right now. Beleric, Claude, and maybe the Farsa. Yeah, no. Guinevere, that's what I was looking for. Beleric, Guinevere, Claude. Take those out, and it looks like Galaxy Phoenix are uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable indeed. Well, feeling comfortable is the Ice Queen versus the Fearless Queen. It was Fa versus Kiowa, and they're about to throw down. But it's not just them either, right? It's also EXP lane. Liabun versus Ling. These two will also be going toe-to-toe with each other. What kind of matchup can we expect from those two Titans?
Oh, it's going to be messy, but all in the best way possible because they have the same play style. They want to make the impact, hard-hitting impact right away.
I agree, and I think they've really reviewed what Navi done against Galaxy Phoenix yesterday, immediately taking out that Beleric. So there's really a high chance we see that trend continue just in order to make Galaxy Phoenix uncomfortable.
And I also like the Galaxy Phoenix are acknowledging that you have to take away the Marcel as a possibility for Coejo. Actually, Coejo and Lemma, they play the same way. They want a lot of disruption, a lot of crowd control, constant vision. Again, when you have two high-profile junglers in your team, expect the roamers and EXP laners to want to play the same way.
Now, Fawn Kioe will be picking very, very shortly. Those are the two that we looked at for head-to-head. What heroes are we expecting Fawn Kioe to potentially run? And for the banning process, what can be banned in order to slow them down a little bit?
Well, if the Guinevere is open, I definitely want to see Fa consider it again. But
nope.
Because if there's a potential Olus again for Kioe, you might really need something to at least shut her down in any way you can.
Yeah, the Olus for Kioe, Hirara is still on the table for these two. Fa on the lane, I'm pretty sure Galtech Cyber Team, if they're willing to give it, they're really just gonna pack a lot of picks that will give it difficulty. Kioe has shown that she's versatile. She was the Ice Queen because of just how cold-blooded she is with getting kills. But she's shown this MWI that she can play the Boxer, she can play the Akai, she can be utility if her team needs to be. And I remember something that Kioe told me in an interview. She said that her Olus works because the team makes it work. That it's not an individual pick for herself. It is a pick that allows the team to play around it in such a way that you're flexible, you can be aggressive, you can be defensive, you can use it as bait, and that's what Kioe loves about playing Olus with her team.
អរគុណជាខ្សោយណាស់សម្រាប់បុកលុយ25 សេនចាំមើលតែអាណា deal player ទៀតក្បាលគាត់អូហើយអី
available, but at the same time, does Geltic want to consider stealing away the Claude for first pick against Galaxy? They just really want to make them even more uncomfortable, or are they sticking to the more normal Belleric maybe priorities, which I think would be
Very first ban. One pick that Na'Vi kept spamming yesterday. GXP just straight up banned out the Olus. As you mentioned earlier, you're willing to give the Hirara in this scenario then if you're GXP?
So then Rara, the Claude,
still a lot of priorities open. Focus, Freya, Esme even. So both teams are overloaded and they'll have a wide array of choices.
The thing is, I feel like they are willing to be less prioritizing their EXP lane simply because I think both these EXP laners, Ling and Liubon, have been two of the most versatile XP laners in terms of the options. They've even used the likes of a CC, maybe even an Alice, which maybe might be a priority later on. So they go for the Atlas instead. And that leaves Galaxy Phoenix with the option to still pick up the Claude if they wanted to.
I think that would be imperative to just pick up the Claude and shot in Navi's book. Just pick up the Claude and the Lilia together here, and then just be ready to respond to maybe showing up. Freya, again, all the best EXP laners are open. So they go for a different route. It's still a gold laner and a mid laner, but it's the carry and the board. And this is where you get some really good picks. And if ever Galtech want to go for the more tankier junglers, they already have the shred with it. So damage isn't going to be a problem for Galaxy Phoenix. They now want to build around these two picks with more sustainability and a stronger front line.
Yeah, and honestly, some of the tankier junglers you actually mentioned are still out there, like the Baksha and Kai, if ever they do want to go for that. Since very considerable that they're seeing main carries from Galaxy Phoenix already, but they go lock in 2 magic damages. Eve and Harley to complete their trio mid.
This means that Galtech Cyber Team really want to play fast. That is one of the keys to victory that you can give for Galtech. You race for the early game against GXP. You don't allow them any early game pressure. You want to be faster than them.
I think this will help a lot in terms of alleviating at least whatever fast they want to go for the Galtech Cyber Team, and also
AI 1000 រៀលឬក៏25 សេន
can actually mark certain people from Geltec
អរ
Cyber
គុណគីមហ្វាលីនសម្រាប់បុកលុយ25សេនអ្នករិះគន់នឹងភាគច្រើនធ្វើចង់ឲ្យគេដើម្បីល្បីពួកអាបំផុលសង្គមអស់ហ្នឹង
So one thing that Geltec needs to consider is now that they're playing a Harley, they have to watch out for the Hilda. Hilda is one of my suggested roamers for Lemma if ever the
Galaxy Phoenix
isn't available for her.
ទោះមិនក៏ដោយក៏យើងអរគុណដែរ
They banned out the
តែ
Mesa,
បាន
the Atlas is gone.
ទី
If
1
it's not going to be the
បំ
Hilda
ពាក់
and they
ជាមួយ
won
នឹង
the
ទ
team
ង់កម្
fight
ពុជា
war,
របស់យើង
they're picking up the Minotaur.
និយាយភាសាខ្មែរនៅលើឆាក MWI EWC នៅប្រទេសប៉ារីសប៉ុណ្ណា
អរគុណសម្រាប់បុកលុយ 2000 រៀល
អរគុណអ្នកសា 2000 រៀល
Good thing that you pointed out.
តែខ្ញុំ
that works out really well.
មានមោទនភាពហើយស្រាប់ហើយចំពោះពួកគាត់
So that'll be a combo they
Let's
could
go,
just
Hans,
rely
burn, let's
on,
go.
but then that'll be really I guess less just tanky
អត់ដឹង
front
មក
lines
ផ្ទះ
in
នោះនេះ
general. So
ខ្ញុំបាន
maybe
មើលនោះអ្នកណាមើល
you
ជួយ
really
ប្រាប់
have to see the
និយាយតាម
Pakito
ត្រង់
be
ខ្ញុំ
a
គិ
bit
ត
more
ថា
hybrid
កន្លះស៊ី
if that
ផ្នែក
were to
អូ
be
តូ
the
ថា
case.
12ផងពូសំហាយពេកមើលទៅ top 4ហ្នឹងពូ 3 team ហើយហ្នឹងហើយអ៊ុមែនតា
stable in the jungle.
បើនិយាយបើតែខ្ញុំផុសអា fun fake ហ្នឹងអ្នកគ្នាគិតមួយសារទៀតណា pool top 4 ហ្នឹងpool អីណានៅ 4 ក្រុមចុងក្រោយហ្នឹងគឺខ្ញុំផុស fun fake គឺ pool B 3 team អ្នកគ្នាគិតមើលតែប៉ុណ្្នឹងបើណា pool ហ្នឹងគឺ pool សម្លាប់ តែយើងឡើងមកដល់វគ្គ play off មែនលំឯណា Wow
like when they went
Wow
tank their
លុយ
rotation
សត
seemed to be a bit
$50,000
out by the opponent so even the battery gets taken out here by Geltec only leaving them to an high potentially if they really want to consider that but for I'm not sure if I want to see their go that route.
I think they're
អរគុណយ៉ាថនសម្រាប់បុកលុយ$1 អាមេរិក
បាទអរគុណ$1អាមេរិកបាទ
tanks unless they
បាល់ផ្ទះខ្មែរថៃមួយស្មើអូមួយសិចស្មើអូខេ but estimate
it'll be too much if they go for burst damage and
មានអារម្មណ៍ថាខ្មែរយើងសល់តារាស់ច្រើនអញ្ចឹងដូចនិយាយថ្ងៃថ្ងៃ semi final ហ្នឹងអត់បានចេញតារាស់ច្រើនណា
too much. I think they
So,
just
so
have to accept that they're going to go for sustainability.
Oh! Whoa!
Okay, so it is going to be tough.
Whoa! Two!
We get to see that later on as Geltec Cyber team. We're looking at their sides. So they know that they're going up against the Paquito. The Esmeralda's not there, but the Yuzhong. Into the carry gourd.
And then you round it out with a Clint. Clint will have all the space in the world provided with the Eve. Harley for the initial burst.
Linh
Clint for the
Linh cái bàn này.
Clean up.
Lancelot. Lancelot nó kia. So you được so you at nó Lancelot em. Lancelot là bài.
They're not going to be able to find a pick that will just be able to match it unless GXP are going into this with a mindset of we're better than you. We play better than you.
Trời.
Yeah, because at this point maybe Akai is the safest. But that's the keyword. It's safest.
Bạo phai vậy.
You're not really going to be able to pair it up.
Sorry, last pick.
You're forced to use it almost defensively every single time. Other options we mentioned, if they want to go assassin and just accept the fact that they play better.
No, has to be Akai.
Yeah, they're not. They're just going to stick with the Akai. Keep it simple and at least balance out the lineup because I think it will mainly revolve around the combos between the Cho Gourd or
There is no mercy for third place. We're talking 50,000 for third, and fourth place walks away with 30. Still very respectable, but I'm sure the competitors want 20,000 additional dollars. It's two storylines. You've got the queen of Kiowa going against the fearless queen of Fall. It's Galaxy Phoenix versus Geltec Cyber Team for third place. Map number 1. Miracle Gideon, let's get it started.
Yo, let's go guys ពេលវេលាបានមកដល់ហើយជាមួយនឹងវគ្គយកដណ្ដើមយកលេខ3និងលេខ4
And we get these two brutal competitors who've
ដូចនិយាយយ៉ាងតាមពិតយើងមានច្រើនណាមានច្រើនប៉ុន្តែយើងអត់បានចាញ់ទេអ្នកនេះបានចាញ់ទេចូលមិញ uncomfortable yo chai flicker yo what the heck yo អូខេការពារពីជំងឺ AIDS អូខេចុំស្អីគេចេះ
We got that first blood rate comparison. Geltec Cyber Team usually take a bit longer to get into the game. Meanwhile, though, GXP known for the early aggression, and that's where I'll have a little bit
of
my
doubts
here.
Really
high pick on Fa.
What's wrong with it? I think that the overall composition seems good. They at least have a disengage mechanic. You know, it doesn't necessarily always have to be Fa being the aggressive one. First,
Flicker.
loses her
Alright.
flicker, and at this point, the mid lane is down to an even
Mid lane off flicker đượcគ្នា, okay.
Everybody's here like it's a petting
zoo. Off flicker high, off flicker high, blood.
Seems like it don't matter. Akai assassins, it'll still be first blood for GXP. But a little bit back onto that topic, I feel like for GXP, especially yesterday against Na'Vi, it really felt like with these utility jungles in hand,
dạ ta nắng ton vậy chẳng phải coi giống vậy nè nắng bia bà bạn vậy.
It's just not Galaxy Phoenix that we've come to know.
Yeah, but this is the personality that I love to see from both of these teams, right?
Nắng to nẹt cút rồi còn nẹt miền bắp sát châu tu sna ca bắp cút nơm lỏng pe ní tôi nhôm ấy nắng mình đăng mình vô rồi.
During the scrum, so I think that at this point, as much as I love GXP, I do want to see like what the peak of team fighting compositions or at least brawling compositions would look like between the two.
Vẽ buồn rồi. Trời, yêu sóng ban là vẽ buồn.
Yo, so far laying on the Paquito as expected, though, winning on the lane just by getting the XP gradually, they have a hold on that. As they set up for Turtle,
have
a massive advantage coming into this with the Akai heavy spin. Just like any other Atlas.
Whoa.
Level 4 just yet.
You song chất đạt.
Well. This looks great.
Yo, what is that?
Just means that unfortunately.
Yo, ôi ngày nay sai rồi.
Sophia.
Mình bật thử Leobon lọ.
It looks like they should be able to get this no problem. Kyoe won't have the magic trick. Patrick to get in and fought instantly with a heavy spin, locking down one as the backline getting 10.
Ở đây vẫy bên lại đi, vẫy bên. Vẫy bên. Từ nè. Này, ban mũi bên. Mau rồi. Man. Vinny, nice. Ô, lại này lo. Clip lại farm. Dân clear mid, dân ban chui kia dân. Tay cái váy siêu trẻ dân tới bánh toàn vậy. Mẹ bọc hình boss. Lo. Okay, guys.
Try to go for an ambush, but no, he just clears it out, and this gives.
Dân clear mid lane man. Okay, mình đã xa tay. Sophia admin sticker. Alright. Em phải có team mới secure mà kill đâu mỗi mà kill. Okay.
But Tokyo's farming up a storm on the.
Trời, mình này cái job siêu được phải. Ô, lính vai siêu tẹt lôi tính ai thầm.
It's also not worth dying just to deny her that space. But for now,
cả cái này for today. Mấy bạn cái này for today.
Fortunately,
lấy ma.
Kill just yet. Didn't even force out too many battle spells as well.
Vô ta lịch bay còn lỏ rồi đi. Tại toàn ai dùng mưa cạp mùi xanh nào thêm mùi xanh. Không răng con, tôi chỉ lịch bay còn chia chấm nát phạm môi đây, top 3 đây, lỗ đây, không răng lang. Phụ lẽ sao môi đó, chắc ba, đi fresh môi chắc ba. Ngày nay sờ bài play miền Nam mà sao mình sờ bài mà tranh với cái vài giờ nè, chơi phần dày, máu, look at that, cái váy siêu chứ, nhưng váy siêu cái, ok. Trời này cái mình váy siêu, cái váy red nhưng mà rồi, ok, red for Golan.
They look back and they're like, oh, wait a minute, they're not getting off of the tier 1.
Dude, when it comes to CJ, GCT, they got so much damage league, though.
Damage is good.
Sophia, shoot Sophia pop. Okay. Oh, nice.
Gets a disengage, but luckily, Nubon says no. Petrify is still good as they start making their way down. Fa and Winnie need to steal this away. Retribution.
Oh, nice one.
Winnie has been activated. Winnie in trouble. Force the flicker. Do they want to dive this? They're going to make the
Whoa! Whoa! Yo, Winnie! Oh, Linh bóc mid. Trời, con ấy Linh vai red rồi. Ôi rồi. Right. Mùi. Lùi cái chợt nhưng là sai cái vô. Ê, red. Cái vô pi red đó, cái vô pi red nhưng tầm ban giờ tao ban red. Tại dân vô ban pi tall. Ok, mùi này chất bán red không chất bán này.
Even in the lanes that GXP have put a lot of effort to ganking, it's still GCT with the advantage. It's an 80 gold lead. Oh, solo kill.
Oh, shot residue already propped here.
Does he want to actually stick around for the wave? No, he's going to call it off, even though Quejo is actually nearby. She's already spotted all 4 of the members making this attempt to dive if they stick any longer. That's going to be a trade once again in favor of GXP. Another turret goes into their hands.
One by one, step by step. One by one, step by step.
Finally able to get a structure on the board.
Mà sao mình make cái? Mà sao mình experience là nói vậy?
Now they find the angle to get they have a spin out and actually catches two. Quejo can't seem to get out of this, but the Fatal Links onto 3 targets is great. Right into the petrified into the Dragon Tail. The combo's good, but when he takes Quejo out, needs to get out of there. Ling flickers forward. Tokyo tries to cut him down, but luckily.
Okay, đánh Golan mình ở Vinny admin flicker. Vinny vài ngay tích lọ mình.
Whenever they go in, I mean, we saw glimpses of this in the bottom lane, that overkill nature of them. When they go in, dude. They go galaxy deep.
Yep, I think at this point, they just need to figure out how much they really need to get value for their resources. I know there's that big guarantee, but it feels like they're overpaying. And now Ling getting hit by Deadly Magic, including Retribution. One more auto attack might be enough, but too late. The Deadly Magic is already popped. Kyoe is going to chase it, play nice and slow. And it's super understandable.
Nice.
You're too far forward, Ling just instantly one-shots you.
It's too much damage to deal with from both XP on the Paquito and Kyoe on the Harley. And the fun fact is that GXP just have no control to get this neutral objective despite Kyoe shown up top. And I think we're going to go back to that point.
Right, resource
management here. GXP, yes, they need to calculate which abilities to use, but I think in
particular, man pi the red មកវិញតោះយើងត្រាតបានពី the red មកវិញអញ្ចឹងលុយវាមកយើងវិញហើយលុយឃើញ swing មកយើងតិចហើយមិនយើងចាញ់ the red គេព្រោះលុយ the red វាបានច្រើនជាងណាសផលពីច្រើន mostly វា best ទៅលើ experience តែមានចំនួនច្រើនគ្នាហើយជាពិសេសវាមាន unique បើវាមួយទៀតគឺ seal.
As both sides have been contesting the mid-wave here, it's going to be a free turtle for Fa as they start to open up the map. But look at the position of Ling right now as the combo is good. Quejo forced to get on out of there. RWM.
Ling!
But gets traded instead. Not that worth it. I mean,
experience ដូរមីរ៉ូមើលដូចជាមិនសូវទេដឹងប៉ុន្តែ at least
out away from the mid-tier one, but the ideas are there.
It's a gamble. I see the idea, I see the vision, but I agree, it's not worth it. Definitely not here. Galaxy Phoenix.
ចូលខាងគេកិច្ច team fight មួយយើងទៅមិនយ៉ាងចង់មក Thread ទេចម្លាយនេះចូល plan គេធ្វើគេស៊ីផ្ទះមែនវាយ Thread ណាគេវាយ Thread ទេចូល
seems like they're going to take these structures down
every
single
time
you leave these structures alone. We get to see the replay again. It's the all in here.
អូមិន off flick ទេឡើយម៉ែ
But Ling just walks
out.
Not worth it. The rest of the team comes in and Liubon of all people.
Funny today are crying, joy. Crying you know.
About the flickers again. Yeah.
Chơi cái xe ta red mà nãy mà ngày nó cái xe ta red này. Cái bột red, cái bột red chơi. Thấy chưa?
A free way to just jump in the back line,
and
especially with this dragon at 5 and 0.
Mà red thế này.
It's a massive threat.
Trời, thấy cái đó.
You know what? Let's pull up the idol and see how really dangerous this dragon is actually going to be in this game. Because at this point, like, I'm looking at Winnie, she's already like 3-1. She's almost there, complete to that third item. But wow, the strongest ever going to be Sophia. Tries her best. Somebody needs to clean this up.
Oh, Sophia ơi, trời ơi.
Get away with this huge punish. Oh no, the flicker burnt as well. That was brutal. GXP a bit miscoordinating the resources there as well. A little bit of a bad call, I'd say.
Cái pha mai hai lay miên là game á, số 4 á.
So much they can really do here. The Fatal Links
oh no.
right into each other. The combo is perfect. It is good. And Kyoe should be able to close this one out. Even after the way of the dragon. I mean, so far, GXP, is it the lack of preparation
no.
Is it just one mistake after the other? They haven't been able to kind of find their footing once more.
Dương check map lại nó đang Atlas nó nồng nồng.
Fits their composition really well, Gideon, but doesn't seem to GXP. They're so used to
having bọn nó lên objective, prioritize objective nào thế.
Now they don't. They have Fa on someone heal in the back, so even when you go for those bombastic plays, there's no one to really capitalize on it.
I mean, if they do want to capitalize on it, they gotta make sure that.
Dương check map lại nó dương đá cho thằng pi nè, trong pe Atlas nó nồng nồng.
be a Mystic Gush onto Liu Bong and now they can't exactly clear the wave effectively without having to send people up. With this presence alone, that just means that GCT are going to start backing away. Cho is still a problematic hero to deal with. Sophia's super trigger happy on that Mystic Gush. Oh yeah.
Dân còn lát đây, mid dân còn lát.
Dân lên màn. As long as she lands the Mystic projectile.
Dương lên 10 mũi rồi, dương lên 10 mũi không có chỗ vậy. Dương tới check map sầm khán này.
That's easily baited out by an RWM or even a dragon that'll be used by Liu Bong to get away from bot. Okay, they use the heavy spin as a means to kind of delay this tower take. However, with the deadly magic as well as the RWM, it's more than enough to blast them out. Sophia even using the Mystic Gush, not targeting the wave, but instead targeting Kyoe. Now, with all the main abilities gone, this inhibitor is basically going to go down for free. What can they do to stop it? Nothing.
Cho cái bọc ban tier 3 lỡ. Trời ơi, dân trong tục mid bê ơi.
We were already talking about how good the siege is for GCT with their range and their double damage dealers.
A force play coming in here, flickering to the way of the dragon. Liu Bong looking to respawn onto Lima's side. Pulls in the carry.
No.
Liu Bong takes her out. Really didn't have enough time to react to that play. Cuejo, perfect match. Cancels
Sao mình đã hay đó nghe. Ngọt bạt.
It's good. It's good. Deadly magic, 1.7k worth it. Blows them up, no problem with the chastise Bulger already purchased by Liu Bong.
Mùi gai, mùi. Mà chẳng. Ôi cái trộn mày. Mùi xanh. Lính là lại clear lane ao mà lane này giờ đó lính mình clear lane khỏi ai lần xa.
But now it's Liu Bong back again ahead with a chastise Pauldron. She knows exactly what's a threat to her. It's just the carry right now to shred her down from the sky. So with the chastise Pauldron, I don't even think Ling she's been able to do on Liu Bong right now to dominate that lane.
So what's the order as of yet, right? Because the way that I'm thinking about it, Fa's been using their abilities too soon to try and disengage. I think the heavy spin needs to be the disengage at this point.
Rồi lại lên 10 vinh. Trời lên má, đã hết thôi chứ mất.
Lima gets a pick and you can wombo combo with the Mystic Gush. That's what I'm thinking.
Sophia mình flicker đó.
That's why Lemma has been put in this really tough spot to just constantly go for anyone she can find. Usually that'll be good. If you're snowballing on the gourd, anybody kick is dead with the carry as well, right? So an extra guarantee. But the fact that these frontliners have all those items just gives Lemma an even tougher time. At least for lane, she can constantly just push the top lane. She can constantly put pressure where Kyoe is going to be the only person that actually deal with those waves on the Harley. But now it comes back to GXP.
Cho má cái utility skill chó đó nè, mùi mũi cái miền Atlas, cái miền E, cái miền du rồng, dương tao bể tận đó nghe, ô dương tranh map khóm,
hold control over this bottom wave. Again, the heavy
spin.
It's
very early. Heavy spin
has been committed. They're even using the conceal to chase into the back line. Ling has to keep on pushing at this point in time. Phalanx gonna connect on one. RWM on top of Sophia. Mystic Gush to slow things down. The Black Dragon is on top.
Lính bọc lơ.
Getting attacked. And finally, GCT realize what's going on as they deny the recalls. This could be a potential backdoor, but the waves is done. And now we're back to this even state. GCT, they've already picked up the kill onto Sophia. They send their Yi back as they should be able to get this Lord for absolutely free.
GCT playing with fire, going all in on that fight, and it was a good play
by
GXP to try to hold the back. But initially, it was far on the heavy spin that was just
patient,
awkward.
That's another thing. I understand that you want to make sure you get rid of that like big AoE ult because it's the only thing that's going to
utility
besides the Black Dragon. I think the GXP at this point, they got to play off of Lima no matter what.
Aggressive move. It's a conceal even though it's no flicker already read out.
It's
I mean, they do get the initial stun out. No projectile at this point. But it's on such a low cooldown that it doesn't really matter. And you can tell that Tokyo having the time of her life, able to hit these turrets from outside the range. Ling, deep position. Oh, already revealed by that mid-wave. Kyoe in 1v1. Oh, this is not going to look that great for them. Because Ling trying to make the attempt to slow down this wave to try and desynchronize it. Good recall on the hat trick, and you can tell
nice one.
Can really keep up with that speed, but at the same time, nobody really wants to die. So Phalanx gets on to 2. Winnie gonna make the attempt to try and take out Quail out. The heavy spin.
Ling. What? Nice!
Sophia able
kêu bê xảy ra đây. Nice one, nice one. Alright, mùi. Ok, swing away 4K, 4K. Em, tạo đạch của váy má này. Trả dừng led váy má này. God, Pakito select game rồi, select game. Trời, anh linh. Hoài thấy à. Thay của tha bờ lý vợ sơ led á. Cái bây giờ nó phải cả đến helmet. Lên mạnh xây chứ. Giờ ta cái front line bên tầm mũi ấy, vai tại Atlas nó ngóp nè.
Taking a whole lot of damage next to Cuejo, Lemma and Link following up next, and that's where you can really see that GXP. They can take the damage. They can go for these fights.
It's just the damage
allocation in the last few fights. Hammond took it far. Okay. Cuejo in a position to engage, but now gets the back line into Black Giant for the combo. Perfect. Solskjaer takes out Sophia, and even with an immortality, far getting punished for the mistakes. Luckily, Winnie and Lima are able to get out of this, but all that pressure surmounted to nothing much as GCT take control of this game again.
Tục ban. Cái clean này. Basket.
GXP, the instant heavy spin. GXP, Winnie and Lemma are doing a good job. The deadly magic last, that's an immortality for sure. Can't do much about that. Tries to get to the fountain in time, but unfortunately still goes down. Again, wasted economy here, despite it being dead. Even the just to make sure you've,
Trời phân là lính ơi, game này.
Phân là lính. The last one of GCT takes it.
Sorry, ngày đó ngà pha lên cay bạn lên rồi. Nghe đóng she tờ lọp lên assassin bay đằng.
All right, I mean, they're gonna wombo combo Link for sure, right? Still with the immortality, still has flicker, but he's dead. Fortunately, okay, instantly exploded, no way to get out of this. With that, I think that's the final nail on the coffin, right? By the time it spawns, add another 10 seconds, yeah, she'll still be dead.
Cá ton. Lọt thom ra đó, mình lội vô nữa. Rồi mà, giờ đó thật cả pha cay lọ. Tất cả pha cay lọ. Cay, pha cay lọ dương xe.
This could be the Lord that ends the game. It very well looks like it. I mean, they've got the extra damage reduction. As they're looking to put the final attack here. Close out game number 1.
Chắp kill away mới
be careful because the damage for Tokyo, they can't really do much about it as well. Deadly magic already out as Black Dragon Fall should zone the rest. Heavy spin finally comes out a little late, but to now it should be over. They can't close the distance. Lima gets the kick, but unfortunately the Lord is just too powerful. That's game number 1 going over to Galtech Cyber Team.
ตลอดเลย assassin มาtớiก่อนตอนตลอดเลย control.
Cold in the nature of the Ice Queen.
Ở đây game môi này, game môi.
Everybody as well. We gotta give props to Cuejo on
game môi đấy.
Just a fantastic job overall, and we get to see again.
Cho mấy cái chỗ đang phim sao mấy ngày đang cái chỗ đi.
In the group stage for GXP.
Ở đây.
Doesn't get on down.
គុណគូអេមពោគីមសម្រាប់បុកលុយ25 សេន
មួយសិនមក
holding attention, people's attention. Sorry, you make them look for half a second. They could explode and just die, and you lose the fight immediately. But adaptations is going to be key. We're going to be throwing it back over to the panel right after these messages, and hopefully they can give us an idea of where these teams need to go.
Ôi pha ngày đi đôi sao mình đại, gameplay đôi sao mình đại. Ahí está, reset.
No mercy for third place, and that is exactly the case here.
After
a grueling matchup that went back and forth, it was Galtech Cyber Team able to take map number 1. They now lead 1-0 in this best of 5 series. Let's go all the way back in time to our pick and bans, where a lot of games are either won or lost within the first 5 minutes, which is the pick and bans. Now, there was a lot of criticism on both sides. However, one side had the most. Where was the losing point.
Ọt miên thế, ai toàn báo thế, ai cơ?
Ai toàn báo thế?
I think it was the first two picks on the red side for Galaxy Phoenix. I really strongly
believe có tập lên điểm mê
kìa.
Ta tập lên control có bật ở toàn ban thế, bật ở ban thế là miền làm bật ở toàn màu. Hộp control kia mình là biệt kia lên xây này. Hay lên play around. Balk match này ha, yeah, Abasato.
I guess they're giving the flexibility with the mid because I know they have a lot in their arsenal. They have the likes of the far side if they just really want to counter out whatever potential mid lane pick or even the Lilia potentially getting picked up. But them trying to focus a bit too much on the carry, aside from it not totally a comfort for win, I guess, also force them to play
lên set cái mấy cái set đá cái admin control lỏng hay cái chăm tàn này. Cái chăm ta bốc té lết game bốc té lết game cái chăm ta dựng fail này, miền làm gameplay cái chăm ta dựng fail này, chẳng ta dựng lên comfort mình té nó, comfort mình té bạn lo. Ta dựng lên comfort mình té là năng bạn tâm must be comfort. Ở đấy thì rất có đăng trả mấy vậy, không phải, mùi, còn toàn tôi có đăng này, là kho pana cái đó cái dân thì tôi vô đây. Bây giờ mà pha to reset là pha anh tích. Ủa thòm ná ca chanh mà sao mấy vì papo đai nào nè ca chanh sao mấy vì papo đai chân mùi. Tao mùi reset guys reset. Tao tao ham vang chun po quát su po quát phơ ban lo.
Well, we talked about the heroes now. Let's look at the
stats. Had job should have fired.
Yeah, you can see that
Galaxy
Phoenix got all the turtles. This is what we were talking about in the
mình là cái get job should have fired đi. Cái chăm cover out với mình. Tai dương vậy nè thử mình. Nhưng vậy nè thử miscommunication của sập. Ở đây reset. Pha reset. Cap code. $50 nè. Còn nè $50 chở nó nè.
What GCT were doing were more straight to the point. I understand if I understand if GPX wanted to be a bit more creative. They had the Paquito, so you see her trying to go for the backlines a lot of time, but it was a bit too much, especially in the early game. There was a time it definitely rewarded them, though. I think that was during one of their potential base sieges, but that was about it. Because again, it seemed more of a glass cannon EXP lane rather than something that.
Mấy nhà cây đang về cover ban tròn, đó nè. Vậy đó cái về cover ban tròn bạn trả mấy nhà cây cover ban tròn, cover counter Atla, counter ấy chợt.
Yeah, they slipped up a little bit on the discipline.
Đó mùi đòn ham vang to. Ở đây lính mình thẳng á, lính mình ó. Đây là lính lõ, lính phải bị khỏi lốt á. Lính cái này em mà lính cho mặt thời mình tính chết mà. Vậy đó lốt tao vẫn tay thử mà tay hồi vậy. Giờ ca có reset mang set nào nè. Ủa con chẳng ca mà sao mình có toàn click vậy. Tao phải đón nó phải mơn lại đấy, chờ nãy nè. Gầy. Bài offline nào thêm mấy đây. Su. Mùi. Ủa khơi nhà pha có lên control tăng pin mà sao mình có vừa sự ban lộ. Hay communication có sự chỉ ta tra control với thời ca good macro khăng á. Tra control mới tới đối thủ lấy mà nói với thời ca good macro.
Now we got some comments from the chat though. They've been getting active and we love, by the way, you all talking. GXP downfall got to be studied. Ooh, that's a spicy one to start off. Cappy,
downfall.
Why are you bringing so much spice into our chat? Keep it coming. What else do we got? Please fall Assassin next game. So this is interesting. I actually was reading chat just a little bit and it was like Assassin, not Assassin. Is that the play? Well, fall Assassin next game. Is that truly the win condition?
Clint free hitting.
Okay, from Gold Magic finds. Hey, like I said, keep it chatting.
Mobile
without you, this show would not be possible. Gord, what are you doing? What is Gord doing?
Appreciate to all guys.
I can't blame Gord though.
Yeah, there's just so many heroes for the Gord to worry about that it's really hard to find the perfect angle for it.
That's right, Gord. What are you doing? Call an ambulance. But not for me. Okay, classic. Thank you, Jonah, out there. Galaxy Phoenix, I guess, needs an ambulance at the moment, but it's okay. It's just one map. After all, the biggest Titans out there, aka Even Vitality, has even fact taken a loss, right, and managed to come back, which is truly phenomenal. Hey, you out there to check, thank you for getting involved, and you can get involved even more.
Champions pick
is now live. From July 27th, submit your predictions for the
MLBB for a chance to win. training វាទៅមានរបបច្រើនប៉ុន្តែដូចខ្ញុំនិយាយបានប៉ុណ្ណឹងគឺជារឿងមួយដែលអស្ចារ្យមែនតើនិយាយទៅ
For even more chances Lock in your champions now and cheer for your favorite teams. My champions pick now live. Make sure again you're checking out the
reset បានណា mindset វាសំខាន់ដែរ
For all the updates
ព្រោះម្សិលមិញហ្នឹងក៏យើងមើលទៅអាចនឹង miscommunication អីតិចតួចដែរចឹងសង្ឃឹមក៏ reset មកវិញត comfort និយាយទៅខ្មែរយើងអត់បានឈ្នះមួយ game មានទឹកចិត្តមកវិញអត់ឈ្នះមួយ game អត់ឈ្នះមួយ game នេះនិយាយទៅវាបាក់បំភ្លេចដែររឿងម្សិលមិញអ្នកនេះ
Di sini mau nggak? Mau ini awas sih guys. Makin lewat nih, mitnya weh. Lihat ya, aman. Bisa nggak? Boleh ke backside.
Coy, my check bang dong.
Gas. Belakang. Gas. Nice. Lagi dong. Udah end sih. Sampai lagi kah? Sampai lagi. Maniak.
Sampai vai treo tech bay mùi.
Nih. Kasih. Sor. Gue naik. Gue juga. Jangan satu Vivi di sini dia naik sebelah sih cewek. Ya lah. Boleh nggak guys? Boleh nggak? Ini Halo sih ketinggalan. Lampu di bawah. Bisa nggak? Bisa. Vivi. Itu bertiga. Kudanya guys. Nice one. Gas lagi boleh.
Ở đây dân lên tầm mũi các bạn này mấy bạn lên cái chỗ lên mũi bán hả đấy.
Gas lagi. OTW.
Vậy tới vì PK và cốt với khóc thế nào thế? Bây giờកំពុងឈ្នះអារម្មណ៍យើងកំពុងខ្លាំងអញ្ចឹងណានៅពេលយើងចាញ់វាទទួលអារម្មណ៍បាក់អីគូសំដែរហើយណាមួយការប្រកួតទី1របស់ពួកគាត់ហ្នឹងព្រោះអាហ្នឹងវាពិបាកថាណារឿងដែលបារម្ភជាងគេដែលយើងតែតែនិយាយហ្មងទោះជា podcast បោកមួយ Cat God ក៏គេតែតែនិយាយដែរ mentality និង mindset គឺសំខាន់ខ្លាំងមែនទែនផ្លូវចិត្តរបស់យើងនឹងការគិតគឺសំខាន់ណាស់ហើយនៅគាត់នៅនោះយើងយូរថ្ងៃដែរអ្នកគ្នាគិតមើលតាំងថ្ងៃ 13 14 15 16 17 18 6ថ្ងៃអ្នកគ្នានៅស្រុកគេ 6 ថ្ងៃដឹងអាកាសធាតុដល់មិនអីមិនអាហារមិនអីមិនយើងមិនដឹងវាមានច្រើន តែទុកចិត្តលើលោកគ្រូឆៃនឹង reset កលាការនេះឲ្យបាន please អ្នកនរគ្នាធ្វើចិត្តឲ្យរឹងមាំលេខ $3,500,000 guys please
against Navi. We head back to
លេខ $3,500,000 មកវិញបាត់
for map number 2. Geltec Cyber Team currently lead. Now, I told you I would do it. I'm
តលេខ $3,500,000
we're at that 15-30 second mark. That small
យើពណ៌អឺរ៉ុបវាខ្លាំង
that led to
មិន
an
ថលវា
opportunity
តែ
for Galaxy
យើងក៏ខ្លាំងដែរសុខទេ
Galaxy Phoenix ultimately ended up
Please.
losing the map. That
Do it
opportunity
better.
was very small, short-sighted, and Geltec was able to recover.
មកពីខ្នុយទាំងអស់
led Galaxy Phoenix to take that
អត់ត្រូវការ reset អាហ្វា
judgment
អត់អា link មិញគឺផឹងណា
into a victory.
តែលេម៉ាត្រូវការលេម៉ានេះទៀតចុយអានេះស្គីនចុយមានកាមេរ៉ាពីក្រោយខ្នងនេះលុយ POV ទៀតចុយមាន POV ទៀត
Apparently we just
លេខ
had
1 5 10,000 លេខ 2 9,000 លេខ 3 5,000 លេខ 4 3,000
actually I don't think I've ever seen a body cam from a
អត់មានអាវទេអាវប្រឡាក់បាត់ហើយ
they're looking at.
I thought we weren't allowed to see the notes.
That's interesting.
But I think it was hidden anyway, but that's cool. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, that's actually really dope. They get out there and get a chance
ខ្ញុំ
to
ហាលថ្ងៃមិញ
obviously
អត់
get
ឃើញ
the
អាវហ្នឹង
viewpoint.
វិញ
Because I mean, it's a lot to manage as a coach. I mean, you're talking about 5 players, 133 heroes that you have to go through, the different synergies. I mean, I'm blown away each and every single draft hearing you two just theorycraft on what's being picked up. But guess what? We get to do it again. This is one of my favorite times. Let's listen into you two. What's going to be going down in our pick and bans?
All right, so it's pretty much
Flying
similar.
clouds.
Flying cloud. You take away the Guinevere. Geltec's gonna take away the Belleric. There we go. Yep. Pretty much, they understood. Like Navi really got to expose Galaxy Phoenix
And
too well.
they're playing on the same side.
Yep, same side.
So they haven't really changed sides, and I believe there are stats to actually back that up. They might be a bit more comfortable doing it. GXP has barely won on the blue side, if not 0. Like they haven't won a single game on blue. So even now that I feel like they did the map decision, they'd rather play it in red and just maybe address some of the mistakes that they had earlier on.
So they take out the Atlas, they will take out or leave open the Aulus, and it makes sense. They banned out the Valentina earlier, which is why Geltec was able to rush pick the Atlas. So knowing that they also banned the Valentina now, they understood that they needed to take the Atlas away as well. I think Geltec will be encouraged to consider their Aulus option open, but then of course, if possible, maybe just double down on the Baksha.
Are we not prioritizing the Hirara anymore too? Like, was it open earlier?
Yeah, it was
right?
open. No one picked it up. I think no one wanted to pick up because they saw the Atlas. Now this is very interesting that they rush pick the carry. Are they potentially setting up themselves to just go for jungle utility and they want to make sure it's safe?
They're doing something very similar to what GXP did in game number 1, except that this time they're on blue side. So GXP will have the Gord to themselves, and both Belleric Atlas are already gone. So
Galaxy Phoenix
this time, and maybe
you know, just I feel like
you man got your Kree go land saw Claude.
Still, just pick up your Claude. Oh, whoa! Where is this coming from? A Khalid roam? This early? When there's so many power picks that you can both be fighting for. Vovius, Esme, Paquito, Freya,
I can only think of like them potentially anticipating maybe a Mathilda matchup, but that isn't likely to show up just based on the carry that you're seeing right now. So what could be the plan here? Is it just really faster movements overall for GXP? Are they picking up an assassin that will move around the map much faster and switch it up as what we've been seeing in the comments so far? But Geltec won't really react to that. It's just the Esmeralda and the Kimmy that they lock in so far. So much DPS.
Ta go land sana Claude link man. The Esmeralda, you're most likely gonna round it out with 2 more frontliners if you're not gonna go for pick-off combos with the carry burst. So far, Geltec has made better decisions in this draft. The fact that they get the Esmeralda. Not a lot of heroes right now are gonna be able to handle the Esmeralda. Galaxy Phoenix can't even consider picking up a CC just yet because you don't even see the jungle. You pick up the CC too early, and then Geltec can just switch it up to an assassin again.
Yeah, and they just have so many ways to play it, so you might want to be careful about that if you're Galaxy Phoenix and looking to just go for a combination that might just attempt to dive, because you don't know what the jungle or the lane is going to be just yet. They might be a bit more playful and creative around the team.
Wait, at least Kree
proves us that.
Alright, so at least you have some flexibility. This I like from Galaxy Phoenix. They have an option to put it into the jungle, option to put it in the EXP, option to... Those are the only roles you can put in Allison. I thought for a second I was like, wait, there's one more. Nope, it's only 2. So they have that flexibility to work with, and that's great. You can still slot in heroes potentially like Glue if you want to, depending on who goes where.
Can I just say, Coach Osprey's feeling good about this. I just know he's feeling good about this.
Yeah.
He did a 6-7. Like.
He did? Oh, I missed that.
He just did.
I thought he was just
We are not bringing that back on this desk.
Okay, we will not. We will not.
It's way past its time.
Kyoe's smiling though. That's another thing. So I wonder if this is something they already have an answer for, as they've also been banning out much of the other options in the jungle. So it could be one way or another them also trying to force it to go down that route. Galaxy Phoenix eventually does run out of things to consider. But so far, I think majority of the counters to it are going to be available as well if they just really want to match it. There is also a Baksha option still available for Geltec. Kyoe has previously used it, but again, there's a Gord already, and I think they will have eventually more answers to that since we don't have the gold lane for Galaxy Phoenix just yet.
Yeah, there's a combo in the Kimmy and the Fredrin, but then it might be tough. Not impossible, and it wouldn't be a bad pick. It's just more of like if you go jungle utility, you are choosing to have a more difficult time.
What else can they...
I mean,
if it's, the Aulus is also still there. If it's Comfort that they want to go for, Suyo is gonna be the jungle for GXP.
GXP for the Esmeralda. All right, they just choose to sustain the lane.
Why
They just
you like
hold
bay
down
here?
the fort there. They have the damage profile to deal with this already. So you can just double down on... I don't think they need to go pick up.
Mày làm lên chụp lên này.
Oh wait, no, Kaja and Kalea were all both taken out. You don't need to go through.
បើ clot ឲ្យយើង ចេះតាណាបើ clot ឲ្យយើង
No Marcel available.
បិទ មកស្កើតែបើ clot ចុយ
Hilda's not gonna have a great time unless you just want to match.
រីរ៉ាត់ថាយដឹង pick ចឹងឥឡូវមុនមើល double pick
So you
អូ Golan នេះ pick មកគឺបាត់អត់បានដែរគ្រាន់ឲ្យ Golan ស្រួលលេងឯង
or any combination similar.
ឥឡូវមកដែរមិនចូលឥឡូវមកដែរ
going for the assassin.
អូ Hayabusa
If they want to go assassin, just match it.
Franco.
The pick off, they find the Franco instead. Ooh, with the Alice, with a Gord, with a Khalid, having a roamer that's very static once the ultimate is off with a bloody hunt. Theoretically, you could see the damage center mindset for Geltec. But with the Alice and Gord and Khalid already there, I think Alice Phoenix cannot go wrong with their last pick.
And the burst damage you have to anticipate. So you really have to build defensive early on, but you also have to build like maybe a Winter Crown or so, just so you could ensure that your bloody hunt eventually gets through. So it's going to be a tough position for the Franco right here in this game, and no matter how you look at it. And the carry is actually still... Oh no, it's on the other side.
It's on the other side.
Claw.
Yeah, of course, you mentioned it. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm much happier with the Galaxy Phoenix draft now. The Alice into 3 actually salvaged it for themselves. Geltec picking up the Franco out of nowhere. I think we're going to go 1-1 after this.
Head back into Flying Cloud. It's Galaxy Phoenix versus Geltec Cyber Team. Now, going back in time, Geltec did in fact win map number 1, which puts them up 1-0. Now, one map away, potentially being $50,000 richer. This matchup means
រីរ៉ាត់ដឹងថាគេចង់ pick off ដែរ ខំបែនការចាបែន clear ចោលតែគេនៅចេញ Franco មកបានហើយយ៉ាលេងឈូអញ្ចឹង roamer ហ្នឹងអត់ចេះលេងឈូ
Galaxy Phoenix and Geltec Cyber Team. Miracle, Gideon, take it away.
លាក់ Golan ហ្នឹងដើម្បី flex មើលទៅគេ hero counter Golan អត់ព្រោះគេជន់តែ Golan យើងអញ្ចឹងរីរ៉ាត់ធ្វើអញ្ចឹងត្រូវហើយព្រោះមិនសមឯងអ្នកគ្នាមើលគេជន់តែ Vinny គេបាញ់តែ Vinny lock តែ Vinny ហ្មង
But then they pick up a Hayabusa and a Franco to round up the drafts. That's the thing. That's the Osprey, man. They're making sure they're giving.
Van បាក់លេង Van គេ flick cam ធ្វើមកយ៉ាងហ្នឹង
The game continues to progress here. Lima is going to start off figuring out exactly where KOA is going to start on this map. Looks like both sides will end up towards the EXP sides of the map as well. But hey, you know, early aggressive plays, and most importantly, Lima just being an absolute nuisance has cost the first blood in the mid lane. Maybe that's the vision. They know Lemma on a Khalid will probably be rotating, and you know, you're going to punishing. They're still trying to get on top of Sanj, and again, Lima making attempts like this. This is an early game that's not great, but they still get Sanj back. Now, trading for trades is still good, but Sophia did lose that flicker early on. The early game plays that we were expecting, not exactly as traditional as we thought. Nope, but it all just worked out for Geltec Cyber Team, especially with a Bargain Hunter on the hands of Sanjika. Oh, man. If only we knew slightly earlier, but even so, it's still pretty good. At this point, GXP, yes, mistakes have happened, but it's not the end of the world. It's not as vicious as it could be. I'm just more worried whether or not Sophia can actually get level 4 on time. Missed a single hook, missed a projectile. It's all good.
Nice.
First blood.
តែការចាំងឡើងមកជួយទៅ Midland យើងរៀងបាក់លេងហើយអញ្ចឹងតែការ mid មកជួយតែចាំងឡើងមកជួយ mid ច្រឡំចាក់ mid ជួយព្រោះយើងត្រូវធម្មតាយើងដក roam ទៅក្លុកចាំងលើគេយើងត្រូវចាំថា Midland យើងក៏បាក់លេងដែរព្រោះដោយសារតែ roamer យើងលេងអញ្ចឹងត mid យើងសេះតែ mid គេ mid យើងសេះអត់កាច់គឺគេ zone land យើងដល់គ្នាឃើញហ្នឹងមិញ
Because I do believe Ling is going to be behind of Yubon. She's going to hit level 4 first, especially with XP Crab control over on Q. Who's already there. Ball's going to try to take that away. Both hit level 4. No problem. Now it's all about mid lane. It seems like Sanjika.
Oh, fire me kill me. Oh, fire me kill.
It's a little bit of time, right? Yes, you know, EXP over time, they still managed to get it through. Waiting for the opportunity, but Sanj in a lot of trouble as Ling is able to peel all 3 of them from the turtle side.
Ôi là Ling sổ bay nè ơi. Đập đi sen.
Oh! The gush as well. That combo not going to exactly land efficiently, but KOA
has an opportunity to maybe make something happen. Ooh, sees two, decides to pull back. Good decision by Kyoe.
And once again, it's GXP early on. This time though,
lọt hàng vinh vinh, thằng này lọt hàng vinh vinh. Nhưng có pay thằng này có pay. Ôi dù, ôi dù, ôi dù, lấy máy.
Now they go with the Yoki shadow kill straight away.
Oh, what a run!
Distance so they don't get run down by GXP. At this point,
nice, lấy máy.
I would have imagined that the lead would have
been lên
towards GCT,
anh lính
but
ngon
at
man.
least
Ê,
GCT
Sophia.
pulled back with that one play.
Ô, khơi mệt, Franco flick it.
They punish this even further? No, the Iron Hook too much of a threat. They back
cái
away.
bay flick, này, bay flick, nhưng mà flick tá. Đó, mùi đòn hàng vinh vinh. Đám vẽ nhưng lệ thay. Có đây là lính lỗ á. Cậu nên lỗ. Bây giờ đang em muốn nè.
But it's just there's something now that can come in to help her out, even with Lemma on the lead.
I think this time around, at the very least, it was GCT who made the initial mistake here, but I think that GXP recovers a lot better as now they get the full combination onto Momo, and they've zoned out GXP as well. They're not going to be able to set up for a dive, but still pretty worth it. 3-2 now is the
The problem was the picks, because now with all the aggressiveness in their hands, with Winnie back on a comfort pick, all the way to before semifinals, to the quarterfinals, that means Winnie only played 2 heroes. It was Harith and Claude. So the fact that she tried her, luck with the carry, and the whole team tried their luck with a different kind of composition was kind of strange.
Oh, no.
At point blank range, Traction Pulse also being utilized here as Ba, not 100% sure, will get right on top. Hopefully making the call. Bunny Hunt onto Lima's side. It's good, but still able to power through with the help of Ling. They get away with the Throne of Ruin, but can they peel back as Tokyo gets into the middle with the light wheels, gets one into Fa. Blazing Door comes out from Winnie, but doesn't have the Trinity to guarantee the kills. Lima tries the trade, ends up dying.
Ôi, sao chiêm tinh ơi.
2 for nothing in favor of Galtech.
You cannot overchase, not against this composition.
Mấy ban bờ, ở đây ban bờ, ban PK nó ở đây.
On the gimme, the mobilization field could hit them all, and Liuban as well, catching Fa with the falling star move as she walks forward with the blade surge. No more mobility resources to use, and GCT are back in an okay position. I wouldn't say back in the game just yet. They just have more chances now to come back, and it's Kyoe who's waiting for a possible steal.
I mean, it looks like it's going to be a 50-50, but they give it up entirely. They look for a wombo combo here, doesn't find it. Little disconjointed, Throne Ruin flickering forward just to make sure that GXP goes down, executed by Fa. And now Lubon gets into the back. At this point, Kyoe right on top of Winnie. It's perfect, but the flicker out into the teammates to protect them. Locking them down with a bloody hunt here. Unfortunately, still no trades. Winnie goes hard with the blades to weapon. The raging stands up, connects on to 2 Lima. Takes on Lubon as Fa chases, takes out Kyoe as well. With mid-tier 1 down, GXP has ripped this game wide open.
Fundamentally, GXP are solid, but where they shine most is when they can shine on their mechanics, just going for these chaotic brawls and duels across the map. Thriving on mechanical skill, they got exactly what they asked for. GCT try to go and fight fire with fire. It seems like GXP's way is just brighter this time.
Oh, but we can't count Galtech out, right? Because inevitably, the one game that they were able to take from them, from Na'Vi, was because of the way they played mechanically. GCT on the opposite side, I think they got to get into those brawls, those big scrums. However, find those choke points. It's about positioning. It's about finding the quick way to push them in together, pinch them close.
Let's see this dive in the bottom lane, an attempt.
Happens every single time. The Blazing Duet comes out. Traction Pulse as well. Winnie having to flicker out of there. It's a guaranteed kill as Guejo just walking, impending doom. But because of that death, they do not sacrifice bottom tier 1.
A sacrifice for the bottom tier 1. I mean, that position is just all too relatable.
Skill chop chân
getting chunked down to 10% of the HP. I mean, I don't know. You would have given up the tower, would you not?
No, I would die for it. I would die for it, bro. Turret more expensive than my life.
Mẹ rắm là đang plan bộ năng lên bóc cái đấy nè. Mẹ rắm dương đang plan là khơi dương cá pia cái đó đây vậy. Trời, yo, một bộ năng lên mà game muối mấy nha. Vậy tao bóc cái đấy mà.
6 more seconds. They're gonna try and rush this down to Kyoe. Get it up in time, and yes, they do. Kyoe gets the steal. Sophia now in trouble as Lubon is trying to push him out. Ling, unfortunately, at 1 HP. can't sustain through the power of Tokyo, cutting them down with the true damage. Thank God for Light Wheels. GCT coming back straight up right after Galaxy Phoenix got a big team fight win, and it was through playing it a little bit slower on the skirmishes. They know if it's just all about speed, GXP would win. All out, all their resources. It requires the cover perfectly with the Mystic Gush. Ruins. It hits. It's good. Bloody Hunt on top of it. They're gonna run down Faz. There's no more cooldowns to get away from this. This is starting to turn into a boxing match. GXP want to get a little messy. GCT, they gotta throw those jabs out before the haymakers come through. Seems like there's no jabs being thrown at this point. It's all about pointing in the middle of the ring and slugging it out. Kuejo just has that reach advantage. Oh, and it looks to be good. Lima gonna try their best, but again, with the fleeting time, that Bloody Hunt just comes off too soon. Quay bánh màu nè. Xích cái đánh. Quay cái. Quay bánh màu. Quay điết. Nữa, quay bánh lang. Thinking about it, but no ult. They can't do much far. In a 1v1 against Kyoe, gets hit by the Oki Shadow Kill.
Lột đằng on kia lính còn đánh vay ghê.
GCT, these prolonged fights is exactly
còn đánh vay hay nha, nó trai bay skill lo mà đã miền Queen Vinh rồi. Đã Queen Vinh bạn lấy à.
Cold composure all throughout. These retreats have been perfect. Every single time it's a 50-50. It's not. It's 100-0. Kyoe just wins it. Even on the purple buff, wasn't able to win it. It was just Kyoe with the purple buff steal, baiting out the soul sever, taking it away. Kue just looking for the iron hook. Doesn't land it. The projectile lands. The traction falls.
It's looking bad. And now with the Bloody Hunt into the Winter Crown to make sure that Lima can't go through. The Mystic Gush comes through and Kueho must give up her life. Sophia finds it. But at this point, GCT, the mid lane is already getting attacked as they maintain the position. Ling fails the engage. Projectile connects. And GXP, they've done
bốc lửa kìa, choi ma ơi, lên bốc tia thế à.
And it's back to GXP now with an advantage. It really is a slugfest of a boxing match here.
Mới con mùi Vinh.
Trying to play it a bit slower, but GXP just finding the ways to gap.
Giờ tới lên nhưng thật ca check map class.
Held that bush, good read by
bởi dương lên xử lý nãy nhưng check map ban chờ nè, bởi sân gì mình lên nhưng xử lý nè.
GXP have lost out the neutral objective battle the Kyoe.
Bang cho bạn chứ.
Oh, here it comes. They go attack the back line. Ludon tries their best, however doesn't get the clean hits as Tokyo takes out Ling.
Lên mà bang cho đó.
The Oki Shadow kill Tokyo, able to take out Fa as well. No more combinations as they have broken the formation.
Khám má nè. Anh ngọc. Hốc Nice one.
Unfortunately, just not long enough.
4 members down for the Lord. That was all good for GCT. It looked like Kyoe was thrown away, but it was just perfect.
Mà lấy má bang hay ra chộp bóng, lấy má bang chộp bóng nào
all their resources to secure that Lord. Then they saw the opening, they chased down, and GXP just did not know what hit him.
Yep, with the holy shielding down on top and mid side, GXP make another attempt.
Watch.
Forward as well, taking it.
Bọc tia man. Bọc tia man, vay bẹt lang. Vay tờ bẹt lang má này.
Unable to get the stun, however. They're going to still chase it to the ends of the earth. Sonjike, no passive, doesn't have that max range. 4 for nothing.
At least man màu 4 bình. 4 bay mày bay. Hay ra lên ở trong là split tay hay ra đi.
It's only a 2,000 gold lead. They do have an advantage on the far lane, but GXP, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to just these chaotic skirmishes, they just find a way to force even the most technical of opponents. Slug it out.
Kham lại.
It's about these combination punches that they throw.
Quay ở đi. Quay mà. Load rồi đã. Hay ra load. Ở đây rồi. Cái miếng cao.
Oh wow. All right. Committing with the Oki Shadow kill, forcing a lot of the members to actually get on out of there.
Nice. Mùi lại đi triệt man. Vay man lột chon.
Newball buys just enough time as they back away. This pick is good, but now you can see. Look at Fa looking for a counter engage. No, decides to go into the mid lane as GXP is on the run. It was supposed to be a boxing fight. GCT just threw a kick on GXP. Unexpected, another big blow to GXP's comeback run, perhaps.
It looked a few times a bit too good with the Sky Piercer stacks falling into far and them getting back map control. But it's all about that overextension, right? When you're a chaotic team looking for brawls, you tend to also push that a bit too far sometimes.
Look, if the rules are starting to bend,
heroយើងត្រូវមានឲ្យគេវាយមួយយើងsave ទាំងអស់មួយកាត់នេះព្រោះគេដល់មានអ្នកបោកយើងមួយណាតែមិញខ្ញុំឃើញអាឡេម៉ាមានតែមានអារម្មណ៍ communication មិញគឺអត់ចង់វាយតើឥឡូវមាន spell គ្រប់គ្នាដែរ Esme ជួយមកទៅ Esme អើយ need someone ដើម្បីវាយ Esme នោះនេះ Esme ទៅ
arguably I want to say they got to take out Quaho but so
many times
we've seen the counter engage from GCT
គេថា fair ជា hero finish
even without the bloody hunt.
So now it's about building it back. GCT finally get some space.
Give me free បាញ់ចឹងណា
that slow macro
Give me នេះញ៉ៃជួយមក
behind that jab. Up top is the jab. They have that forced error built up. Slow push coming in. GXP.
គេ pressure land លើយើង pressure land ក្រោម
Haymaker to turn things around. A wipe in the skirmish or a Lord take where they don't lose anybody.
Yeah, look at these aggressive positions that they're holding him in no man's land, trying to make sure that they have that first setup. However, the backup is so far away that this could be an overextension, and I think that GCT might have just figured it out, but luckily they got into lane, forced them out entirely, and now they have a power position over this Lord. Should be pretty free overall, right? I don't see any contestation because of this forced mistake, and now GXP, they're not really going to force this. They've already used the conceal. No position to fight.
Be careful, Emma. Cuejo just needs one iron hook. The GCT chooses to play it safe. BOD built up for Kiowe. Take a look at the items. Chastise Polygon as well. The Reanimator being built up by Tokyo. That'll take all of the threat of the Claude and the Suyo.
Yeah, like clear low.
They can actually dive together with the Alice out of the skirmish already. Is that a holy crystal that Sanjik is building for?
Yeah, I think so. That's, I mean, that'll hurt. It's going to hurt for sure, but at the same time, I wouldn't blame the decision because so, based on what we've seen so far, Sanjik usually isn't that... Wait, hold on. Stone Ruin does connect, able to combo perfectly, but luckily the winner crown coming from Cuejo is good enough. Thinking about the bloody hunt, they get it on towards Lima, and unfortunately Fa with 2 more stacks, able to make it happen. Lubon, falling star mood, they were targeting the front line, but now Sanjik focus forward to try and ensure this. Lima will try their best as well to feel them out, but now in the back, with the Oki shadow kill, and it's just too much damage for Sophia to take.
Joey found the angle through all that chaos. GXP thought they had GCT because they saw them split up, but now it's GCT looking for the edge. Possible mobilization lands.
It's good. However, they need that wave, and Ling is able to delay this wave for as long as they can. Traction falls again, getting thrown out. Trying their best to try and pull some attention. The Yoki shadow kill might just find one. Unfortunately, RNG isn't on their side. Lubon needs to take out Fa. Fa gets just in the nick of time. And the peel should be it. This is when Lubon should fall. When you have a raging Phantom, and especially with so much pain, and yet they don't give these kills over to winning.
How the Galaxy pull that defense, not losing another base turret. It still stays just one base turret down. It was from the prior push. GCT. They have to be wary of these crazy They're caught behind the ropes right now.
ធីមនេះខ្ញុំមើលហើយលេបអត់ទេចាំបានរីដិតថាជាប្រាប់ហើយបាញ់ឃើញលេងតុបផ្ទះសាហាប្រឹងតុបសាហាហ្មងម៉ែធីមនេះគឺប្រឹងបុកទៅផ្ទះហ្មងតាំងពី early រហូតដល់ late បុកទៅផ្ទះសុទ្ធ
They're swinging wild, that's for sure, man. Leaving themselves open, but that's what you gotta do. Throne of Ruin again. The Haymaker landing. Hey, it's not good enough this time. Winner crown. Alquejo can't seem to get out of there. Has to use the bloody hunt, and it's going. Goes down as Killway finds a double to that front line. A single Oki shadow kill was good enough. Winnie got one shot. Oh my goodness, the red tree from Kiowe plus the shadow kill took everything out of the Claude. And now it's just Fa and Sophia to try to delay this game.
Inhibitor open, Fa looking for an opportunity. One minion, they just need to clear it up, and with the red tree they will. Sophia out of position, and now the next wave has spawned. Not sure why Sophia decided to walk away like this, knowing that Fa can actually delay these waves. However, topside, there's just not enough manpower. 4 more seconds until Ling comes back up. 6 more on Lima, and 6 more on Winnie, as I need to defend with everything they got. Throne of Ruin is out, but it's too late. That's the end of the game here in the game number 2. Caltech Cyber Team 2-0.
That's match point to do it with a composition that threw most of their main winning conditions that we saw from the group stage all the way to the semifinals out the window to say, no, I'm just better. If you want to brawl, if you want to go and slug it out, we can do just that. We haven't seen a flex like this in a while to say, you know what, you think it's the meta, we don't care about that. I'm starting to like it, I'm not gonna lie. I love the way that both of these teams, their scrimmages are fierce. We need more of this. We need more of this everywhere. We're going to be throwing over to our studio to break this down for you. I'm sure they've got a lot to say for such an exciting game, but only after these messages.
Put me in the same situation. It's okay, guys. Okay. Oh, 3-1 យើងឈ្នះដែរ
Geltech Cyber Team, they want the $50,000. The question is, can Galaxy Phoenix making too many mistakes? And now they're down 2-0 in this best of 5, which means Geltech is officially on match point. Hey, welcome back into our studio. Guys, it started off bad already. First minutes, Geltech finds the mid laner exposed. They take advantage of it. From there, it snowballs into Geltech's hands. They were slipping in their position and they're trading in the center of the map early on. And it didn't take long for it to be translated to a small lead. Credits to Galaxy, they were able to recover and again, which is why personally I preferred their draft over what Geltech went for. បធូរអារម្មណ៍មកលេងហ្គេមធម្មតាការប្រកួតធម្មតាគាត់ថារឿងនោះធម្មតាទៅវិញណាខ្លាចអាហ្នឹងវាជាសម្ពាធណានេះ It's been answered. Yes. Yeah. ចាំមើលមើលតើយើងនឹងចាញ់អីទៀត Some of the most unexpected heroes that are not entirely part of the meta are actually made work here by Geltech time and time again. And I agree, the beginning seemed a bit too sloppy for even both of their sides. I was expecting it to be a bit more difficult, especially for Geltech, to pull off this entire idea of a Franco. But even then, you see how they started moving. They were always together, and just by them doing that, it's crazy. I feel like Galaxy Phoenix have always been scrambling around the map. And again, even going into the unique heroes, I mean, 30 unique heroes. They are the second most moving team when it comes to hero selection, which is truly impressive. Again, going back to that first minute, though, let's take a look at it, because this is where things truly started off bad for Galaxy Phoenix. At a time where they needed it to go well, especially given the fact that they had just come off a loss from map number 1. We go back in time to the first minute and take a look. Again, the mid laner getting exposed. I mean, we're just 40 seconds in. Yeah, where was Lemma in that situation? You have to be helping your mid laner clear. I think she overthought it and thought that, hey, maybe the Franco's going to be going into the gold lane. Nope, and that just left you vulnerable in the center of the map. You lose your mid, you lose your roam early. And with, as you mentioned, coming from a loss, knowing that if you lose this, you're going to be down match point, you need to have a good start, or it's going to influence the rest of your game. You're going to be sloppy, you're going to be taking unnecessary risks. Yeah, honestly, if you try to look at the different angles Lemma might have considered as to why she just went straight to Kyowe, you would kind of understand her, right? Maybe there was a potential early invasion from the Franco, maybe there was a potential that the Franco could go gold, or not entirely the mid, because that's not where you expect the Franco to really unleash the early game potential, but it's that far, that's why just so much matters when it comes to these early decisions, because as we take a closer look to whatever escalated after that, it was much faster this time around for Geltech Cyber. Yeah, and Geltech obviously uses that advantage, they take that momentum, and they just apply it to the rest of the round. But you're right though, like it was in fact, of course, should be a Galaxy Phoenix did in fact have some of that moment. We now go a little bit deeper into round number 2, and we do see that it's relatively even based upon this action, right? I mean, they do start coming back. Galaxy Phoenix is looking a bit more solid, but still not some tough point at this point. Yeah, this was when it was going good for themselves, and you see the beauty of their lineup. Yeah, I think it is also
a moment wherein you get to see how eventually Geltech's cyber team can be caught off guard, but if you prolong the team fights much to a point where you don't get to burst down anyone from Geltech and they just keep on throwing out their skills, then it becomes a favorable position for them as well, considering that Harry also got the late
was looking incredibly strong. Take a look at that action, Rinmar. Yeah, this was right after they took an unnecessary go or a fight. I believe it was in that upper Lord pit. Link comes out. You see the idea of the combos with what they can dish out.
Chúc do real 2 real 5 real របស់អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលប្រព្រឹត្តរឿងលបែងស៊ីសងហើយយកមកប៉ាពាក្យសម្ដីជេរមនុស្សស្រីវាអាក្រក់មើលណាស់ទោះជាស្រីគ្នាឯងជេរក៏វាមិនល្អមើលដែរព្រោះគេទៅលេងដល់ឆាកអន្តរជាតិហើយអូមិនមែនតែមិនលទ្ធផលអីដែរមិនលេខ12អីដែរមិនមែនធ្លាក់តាំងពីដើមវគ្គមិនមែនធ្លាក់វគ្គគ្រប់ stage at least knock out stage 4 ក្រុមយ៉ាងក្រោយលេខ3លេខ4បធូរអារម្មណ៍ណាស់បធូរអារម្មណ៍កុំរំពឹងខ្ពស់ពេកបធូរអារម្មណ៍តិចទៅ enjoy the match ណាស់នេះ enjoy the match គាត់ណា
But you also have to take into consideration that
ទស្សនាការប្រកួតដូចខ្ញុំនិយាយពេលឈ្នះសាតពេលចាញ់លើកទឹកចិត្តប៉ុណ្ណឹងទៅបានហើយ
Well, Miracle and Gideon are calling the action and they're doing a phenomenal job and we happen to be recording them. Let's see what kind of antics they got into during the commentary.
ព្រោះឆ្នាំនេះកីឡាករមានអារម្មណ៍ថាកីឡាកររបស់យើងក៏គាត់និយាយទៅភាគច្រើនខ្ញុំមានអារម្មណ៍ថាឆ្នាំនេះខ្មែរយើងណាស់នេះខ្មែរយើងគឺនៅលើឆាកអន្តរជាតិធ្វើបានល្អច្រើនណាស់ហើយសឹងតែគ្រប់វិញ្ញាសាណាស់គ្នាខ្ញុំមែនតើណាអញ្ចឹងគឺយើងឃើញនៅភាពរីកចម្រើនហ្នឹងម្ដងបន្តិចណាស់គ្នាអញ្ចឹងឈប់បំផ្លាញខ្លួនឯងទៅឈប់បំផ្លាញសិតតែស្អីគេចិត្តអ្នកស្នេហាជាតិតែពេលដែលវាយបហាតែប្រជាជនខ្លួនឯងមិនចឹងខ្ញុំមិនយល់ហេតុអីដើម្បីអីហ្នឹងហើយការប្រកួតហ្មងអត់មានចាញ់មានឈ្នះខ្លះទេហ្មងតែឈ្នះរហូតហ្មងល្អរហូតហើយមិនចឹងមិនអត់យល់យើងអង្គុយមើលយើងឃើញថាគាត់ខុសនេះខុសនោះទៀតប៉ាត់ជាក់ស្ដែងយើងទៅកាន់ទូរស័ព្ទលេងវាអត់ស្រួលទេនៅគ្នាវាស្រួលទេវាស្រួលទេនៅគ្នាវាមិនស្រួលដល់គ្នាគិតទេអញ្ចឹងសូមបំពេញកាតព្វកិច្ចជាខ្លួនឯងជាអ្នកគ្រប់គ្រងរបស់គ្នាគ្រាន់តែគ្រប់គ្រងលើកទឹកចិត្តបានបើមិនពេញចិត្ត just shut the fuck up បើអត់ពេញចិត្ត just shut the fuck up
I can't help myself
តែបើយើងអត់ពេញចិត្តងាកមុខចាញ់ដើរចាញ់តែប៉ុណ្ណឹងងាកមុខចាញ់អាហ្នឹងរបៀបថាបើយើងអត់ចង់ឈ្លោះមួយគេយើងដើរចាញ់យកមកអាហ្នឹងគឺជារឿងល្អឈប់ប្រើប្រាស់ account fake account ខ្លួនឯងមិនប្រកាសដើរជេរគេទៅពីឈប់លុបបានវប្បធម៌ហ្នឹងគឺលុបចោលទៅរងអីគឺយើងកំពុងតែលងណារឿងអស់ហ្នឹងខ្លាំងមែនទេអាងតែខ្លួនឯងប្រើ account fake អត់មានអាណាស្គាល់ដើរតែជេរគេទៅពីអា fake អត់ profile ខ្ញុំងុំទៅយក profile អាណាគេខ្ញុំដាក់ឲ្យគេជេរអានេះហ្នឹងអត់ដឹងចោលអីទៀត
There wasn't even a sky piercer in that lineup I think it was just
ពេលដែលគេធ្វើខ្លាំងទៅគេប្តឹងគេអីទៅតាំងលើកដៃម្រាម10សុំទោសគេតែដល់ពេលគេមិនហាមកាន់តែបានចិត្តជេរគេយកជេរគេយក
Probably going to be the favorite but Geltech says otherwise and
they
have been looking phenomenal
តែអ្នកស្នេហាជាតិឲ្យរួបរួមពេលឈ្នះសប្បាយអស់ពេលចាញ់តាំងជេរអត់យល់
What you think about the broadcast What do you think
ធ្វើមួយមើល
about the Esports World Cup as
លទ្ធផលប៉ុណ្ណឹងវាអស់ចាស់ហើយ3 រដូវកាលនៃ Pro League 3 រដូវកាលនៃ Pro League របស់ស្រីលទ្ធផលបានប៉ុណ្ណឹងអ្នកគ្នាតរយទៀត
They're down 0-2 and they are
មួយអ្នកគ្នាមួយ
Geltech is absolutely on fire. Little mistakes here and there, maybe hero selections going bad for Galaxy Phoenix. They've got a lot to fix and they've got to fix it quickly.
អតិពលជះមកពី MPL យើងឃើញហើយបានន័យថាគាត់ទៅថ្ងៃទី1អត់មានខ្លាចឆាកទេថ្ងៃទី1ថ្ងៃទី2ថ្ងៃទី3ថ្ងៃទី4យើងបាក់ថ្ងៃទី5តែមើលទៅមកពួកគាត់មើល
I have not seen the Galaxy Phoenix
confident ដើម្បីក្នុងការលេងទល់លទ្ធផល 2-0 ហ្នឹងមើលឥឡូវមើលទៅមុខគាត់មើល
Where did this team come from for a while now in this tournament they do have to dig deep and just remember who they are
ដោយឧទាហរណ៍អ្នកគ្នាកំពុងមានជំងឺ depression ហើយអ្នកគ្នាកើតជំងឺ depression ថ្ងៃហ្នឹងស្អែកហ្នឹងអាជំងឺហ្នឹងវាជាមែន take time guys
but none
នឹង
of
ការបាត់
them
ពិសោធន៍
worked just
នៃ
yet.
ការព្យាបាល
So we
ខ្ញុំ
really
ដូចនេះ
are
អារម្មណ៍
looking
គាត់កំពុ
for
ងតែ
that same
ដូចភ្នំ
GP
សង្កត់ចឹង
GXP
តែ
that
គាត់
we
កំ
saw
ពុង
in the first
ព្យា
few
យាម
days.
ឈៀអាប់ខ្លួនឯង
Sophia got isolated. She
Mình
got
chia áp luôn
punished. Again, we go back to the main storyline, and it was the
ហើយ
fearless
ប្រវត្តិ
queen
ក្មេងៗ
of
ណាស់អ្នក
Fa.
6
Is
7
she
10 3 10
starting
អីទេ
to finally feel fear?
យើងឃើញនៅលទ្ធផលបានប៉ុណ្ណឹង
Is she
អស់ចាស់ហើយ
able
អ្នក
to
គ្នា
bring this team back up? Her
មិនងាយ
stats
ទេ
were incredible. Arguably, she was better than Kiowa in the statistics category. It's not all on her, of course. It is a team effort, and I understand that. But if we're looking at Fa to turn things around, what does she need to do?
Well, has to start
ណាយើងជាអ្នកគ្រប់គ្រងណាយើងមិនលេងទេណា
to take over here.
She should be the star.
មិនអ្នកលេង
She should
ទេ
be the star.
គ្រូវឹកធំធំក៏គេ
It's
ឃើញ
just a
ដែរ
weird, awkward
គេ
spot
ឃើញ
for
នៅ
them where it's like
ការលេងហ្នឹង
allow
ខុសមិន
Fa
អី
to
មិន
be the
អី
star,
មិន
while at the same
តែ
time
អ្នក
telling
គ្នា
each other,
បើ
"Can
យើង
we
ជា
not
កីឡា
go
ការ
too
នីឬ
far
កីឡា
away
ក
from
ហ្ម
each
ងមិន
other?
ដឹងថា
Can we time
ទោះអ្មិនក៏
ourselves
ដោយ
a little bit
អា
better
ការ
so
បត់
that,
បែន
okay, one of us
ខ្ញុំនិ
decide
យាយ
to
មែន
go
ពាក្យ
and
អង់
make
គ្លេសគេ
that
ហៅ
play?
flexible នៅក្នុងការលេងហ្នឹង
There's a lot
វា
of
ធ្វើ
us
ការ
that can get
អ
together and just
រាប់ឆ្នាំបត់
answer
ពិសោធន៍ខ្ញុំនិយាយមែន
it
ទេណា
right away.
Yeah, because
ពួក
Geltic's
គាត់
the
ខ្លាំង
perfect
ប៉ុន្តែគាត់បាក់ប
example
ត់
of them
មែន
just being
វាអញ្ចឹងណា
together.
ដល់ថ្នាក់
They're
ខ្ញុំជួប
always
ដល់គ្រូ
moving
ធំ
as a
ធំ
group, and
ជា
we
លោក
saw
គ្រូ
that
វឹក
multiple times.
កម្រិត
Even
ប្រូ
on
លេខគេ
my
គេសរ
Franco
សើរនៃការលេង
lineup
របស់
that
យើង
they
ទី
did
1
field out earlier
លើកទី
on,
1 អត់
so
ខ្លាចឆាក
I agree,
ទី
Fa might
2
want
លេង
to take charge
ការលេង
this
របស់គាត់
time
ល្អ
heading
ល្អ
into
ដូច
this
មនុស្ស
round.
ប្រុស
Broken walls,
ទី 3 មនុស្សស្រី
flying
អ្នកគ្នាគឺ
foul.
ដឹងហើយ
Now we're
អ្នក
gonna
នេះ
get
ស្ដាប់
some
podcast
dangerous
Medphone Gaming TV
grass.
ដែលខ្ញុំនិយាយមួយ
Based upon
Defang
that
នៃ
map
កើ
there,
ហើយអា podcast ហ្នឹង
I
ជា
would think
Defang ហ្នឹង
Geltec
គឺ
closing this out
ណៃកើក៏និយាយ
3-0,
ក្នុងហ្នឹងដែរ
or could this
មនុស្សស្រី
play
ពិបាក
into
មួយ
role of
កីឡាការនេះ
Galaxy
របស់យើង
Phoenix?
គឺការបត់មែន
If it's
បានន័យថាបត់
dangerous
ត្រាស់នៅបត់
grass
gameplay
and
ភ្លាម
Geltic
ៗ
that we're
ដូច
talking
ដែល
about,
Asian Game ធ្វើ
I might
កីឡា
as well think
កីឡា
that
ករ
this will
5នាក់
also
ដែល
be
គាត់
one of
ទៅ
their
ការប្រកួត Asian Game
more
ហ្នឹងអង្គរ
favorable
វរៀនហ្នឹង
maps
គាត់បត់
if
ត្រាស់
they
បាន
were
ប
just
ត់
to
gameplay
talk
បានតែ
about
ខ្ញុំធ្វើ podcast
their
មួយ
sheer locations and
លោក
abilities
គ្រូ
to
ណា
move
កា
around
ហ្នឹង
the map and just
មកគ្នាមើល
catch
ថា
Galaxy
កី
Phoenix
ឡា
by
ករម្នាក់
surprise
មាន
because
បទពិសោធន៍
they've
ប្រ
been
ហែល
doing
ឆ្នាំ
that
រាប់សិប
very
ឆ្នាំណា
dominantly in the previous
រាប់សិប
two
ឆ្នាំណាអ្នកគ្នា
games. And now I'm just wondering
រ៉ា
if
អ
they
ន្តរ
just
ជាតិឡើង
allow
ឡើង
the
ជាន់ឡើងខ្ជិលហើយ
possibility
រ៉ា
of
detective
another
សិតតែមានបទពិសោធន៍
assassin
អន្តរ
type of
ជាតិ
comp
ពីរ
to
នាក់ហ្នឹង
come through for
ហើយបើ
Geltic.
កីឡាករផ្សេងទៀត
One
D7 ក៏
very
មានបទពិសោធន៍
simple
អន្តរជាតិទៀត
suggestion for GXP.
ឥឡូវយើងអត់តា
Going up
goal ទេ
against a team
goal
are
Vincent
that are playing around each other too well. They stick together a lot.
Experience Land Shadow Shadow អត់តមានបទពិសោធន៍ដូចគ្នាប៉ុន្តែគេធ្វើបានល្អទៅយើង Shadow មានបទពិសោធន៍វិញប៉ុន្តែបទពិសោធន៍លេង MPL វិញតាំង MPL season មែនអ្នកគេរាប់មើលទៅ
Maybe pick up a Sicilian. Okay, that's like my bias for the pick alone. But
ចឹង
come on,
កាត់
Lilia,
មួយទៅ
please.
អ្នកគ្នាលើកទឹកចិត្តគាត់ទៅយ៉ាងណាថ្ងៃនេះទោះជាលទ្ធផលលេខ3ឬលេខ4អូខេខ្ញុំសប្បាយចិត្តហើយខ្ញុំសប្បាយចិត្តនឹងរឿងហ្នឹងហើយអ្នកគ្នាបច្ចុប្បន្នការគេដាក់យើង 2-0 ហើយអ្នកគ្នា
I feel like this should definitely be the time to claw.
ឥឡូវខ្ញុំទៅដាក់ webcam ខ្ញុំខ្មែរលោកគ្រូរីត
comfort pick and then you
ខ្មែរឈ្មោះលោកគ្រូរីត
and then diving EXP
ចឹងខំណាមួយអ្នកនេះ
help dive alongside whatever the assassin for Fa will be. You don't need to pick it up this early. Just get the Claude, get the Lilia.
We're waiting for them to get these two picks that they could center their draft
មួយ
around. But that also leaves us with a
ជូនកម្លាំង
question
ចិត្តរបស់
of
គាត់ដូចរឿងអីគេ Dragon Ball
for second phase all over again. Do they
Go
rather flex Fa in the jungle
បញ្ជូ
rather
ន
than put her
កម្លាំង
on
ចិត្ត
a pick that's comfortable
បញ្ជូន
and play
កម្លាំងចិត្ត
around it?
Dragon Ball ឯងរឿងហ្នឹងឯង Dragon Ball អាគេបញ្ជូនថាមពលចុងក្រោយឲ្យទៅអានេះ
One of those. Even the Esmeralda would be great. You have so many options available to answer.
គេបែរតែ3 hero ហ្នឹងបាក់3 hero ហ្នឹងដួល
an Eve lineup too. The Eve is the first pick. You see what mid lane, what box could potentially be established for Geltic. This is still the route. I think they have counter engaged. Yes, they go for the Khalid. But even this hasn't really worked for them earlier on.
កងហ្វូ Panda អីអាហ្នឹងរឿងអូអ្នកគ្នាអត់ការអត់តនទេរឿងហ្នឹងរឿង Super Saiyan កាលមុនគេហៅថា Super Saiyan ទេកាលហ្នឹងវាយមួយអាបិសាចប៊ូអាប៊ូស្គមវាយមកអាប៊ូស្គម
I don't know what's going on. Okay, at this point, please.
សង្ស័យនឹងកាត់អត់តមើលអាវៈហ្នឹងឯងព្រោះវគ្គដំបូងហ្នឹង
But I would love a Lilia at this point.
Yeah, so you have also a bit more of the burst damage. You have the Khalid
បើសិនពីតាវី
It's constant damage.
Esmeralda ហើយលុះ
It's not just a stun with true damage. It's constant little bursts of damage damage that makes fighting around your own personal box as GXP even more dangerous.
Dragon Ball Z. Vậy ta phải vai mời Abu Scom nắng bàn biên là chốt nâng.
In the EXP lane are already slightly
đôi chỉ miên đại đã thì miên thêm xây đấy.
Attempted to at least balance it out through the CC, but I feel like it's still gonna be tough either way.
លេខ 4 បាន club point ហ្នឹងបង អូ club Galaxy អត់មានclub point មួយគេដោយសារគាត់អត់បានចុះឈ្មោះជា club មួយគេអញ្ចឹងអត់បានទេ Whoa CC
tough choice now of whether or not they can go for damage in the jungle or just accept that you're gonna have once again playing utility for the team. They'll take out the Claude. Would have been great, but you still have picks like the Moscow.
Clean.
Picks like the carry still up. If the carry gets
Allah
I don't know anymore. But then the thing is, you still have a Clint option as well for Tokyo. So whatever Geltic is left with their playstyle. Whether they go for the carry or the Clint, it's very them.
They banned out the Gore.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Arguably so, of course, that's additional layers of shred, but with the amount of fronts and with the amount of sustain that you're already seeing from Geltic, I think they're very flexible to choose around the jungle. Like they have options to play around it, that they have both Eves and Hylos
understand.
in the draft.
understand ពីរឿងអស់ហ្នឹងបើចិត្តកំណត់ឡើងបើចង់ឲ្យប្រទេសខ្លួនឯងទៅមុខវិស័យណាក៏វាត្រូវការអស់ហ្នឹងដែរបើចិត្តកំណត់ឡើងឈប់ល្ងងខ្លៅទៀតទៅបើចិត្តកំណត់ឡើងរងថ្ងៃណាចង់និយាយដល់ទេតើនិយាយប៉ុណ្្នឹងបានទេរងថ្ងៃអ្នកខ្លះមានបានស្អីទេក្រៅវិជេដូចរឿងអានេះនិយាយ example មកដូចរឿងព្រំដែនយើងបានតែជេទេគ្មានជួយស្អីទេបានតែជេទេមិនបានជួយស្អីទេ
Jungle. Okay, maybe once we see Red 4, we can have a better idea of what they might want to lean into jungle-wise.
Yeah. Because as of the moment, it seems a bit too broad. Just take out the
ប្រើពាក្យមកថាជេដើម្បីឲ្យពួកវាអាលាយជេបើជេអាលាយពួកហ្នឹងយើងជេទៅអាលាយយូរបាត់ហើយមិនមែន start ពីរឿងអស់ហ្នឹងទេគិតតែបានវិញអារឿងដែលមានប្រយោជន៍ជួយសង្គមជាតិខ្លួនឯងអត់គិតធ្វើដើម្បីឲ្យជាតិសាសន៍ខ្លួនឯងខ្លាំងគិតតែអង្គុយជេគេមួយថ្ងៃតាមបណ្ដាញសង្គមបានប្រយោជន៍ទេ
On paper might be okay. But if you're looking at how Galaxy Phoenix have been working around the sequence of the team fights and the layering overall, then that just puts more and more pressure on their draft.
Okay,
I'm glad they
finally picked up the Granger.
Definitely should have come. Geltic Cyber team picked up the Granger. They know that their box is way too good. If ever the Akai comes in for Galaxy Phoenix, I think it might be for them because it's intuitive to what they want to be able to do. And the Harith, you want things to be coming together. Unless they are really being able to build down the members of Geltic. And here comes Leomord for the first time in MWI. Oh, is Leomord gonna carry Geltic to victory and all the way to the third place?
It's Hylos and Leomord too.
Oh yeah. It's the double horse combo, courtesy of Team Liquid, the men's side. Well, this could end up very, very fast. I think it's funny. The Kai looks good because you see the Leomord.
យើងអាចស៊ូយូទៀតហ្នឹងទៅតែស៊ូយូបាក់លេង
so counterintuitive to your
Fred.
own goals.
And it's devastating
Fred
because they're in last pick again. And the last time we
Fred
saw that
nó
Kai
vô
pick,
thi
it
này
didn't
nó
really
tích
pan
on
out
ha.
well for Galaxy
Sao đã
Phoenix.
assassin này mình clang rồi nè
Overall, their third game in the red side, but despite that, things haven't been going
vậy ta
their
phát
ways.
chân khỏi nó control trên đó tích ti đôi tầm ô vậy chắc ngày nắng đây miên even top up này nè vì thà thi bật nào vì số nó dùm mình đấy nè mình cái thằng mình đấy sao mấy ông ban pi pon này mình mà Pika thì stream rồi ngày nắng even top up này nè even top up bao khéo ngày nắng bắt khéo nè bạn vô khéo đó
It's up to them to decide, but for now, Geltic Cyber Team.
Let's go, Galaxy Phoenix.
It's time for map number 3 between Galaxy Phoenix and Geltic Cyber Team.
Tôi chỉ game team 1 ជាក្តីសង្ឃឹមចុងក្រោយtôiជាសង្ឃឹម 1% ក៏នៅតែជាក្តីសង្ឃឹមការខិតខំប្រឹងប្រែងរបស់អ្នកនរគ្នាវានឹងចេញផ្លែផ្កាទៅតាមក្រោយខំប្រឹងឡើងធ្វើចិត្តឲ្យរឹងមាំឡើងកូនខ្មែរមិនដែលខ្លាញ់តែពាក្យហ្នឹងទៅកូនខ្មែរមិនដែលខ្លាចតែទៅលេងតែប្រកបដោយយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រ
fortitude to come back. GCT, they just need a game to finish it off. It's match point, and that's the high pressure, the high stakes that we've all been waiting for. And especially if GXP is going to climb out of this hole in this best-of-5 series. Overall, I am a little worried, but at the same time, there are some interesting adjustments, right? Adaptations that we are seeing. 31% first blood rate. អត់តដឹងដែរហ្នឹងអូខ្ញុំមានវីដេអូមួយទៀតចិត្តចេញមកអ្នកពាក់ព័ន្ធពី off flicker ពាក់ព័ន្ធពីនិយាយពី team house ទៅលេង team house របស់ Pro Sport sneaky straight up into enemy jungle after sending Lemma up top to delay Kiowe. And that's the thing, we were talking about it in game number 1 and 2. We recognized that the attention span seemed to be all over the place, and in game 2, they started to weaponize that attention span. Now, it's about dealing false information, feeling like you're really about to catch somebody, and then you notice, where's all my kids down on the bottom side? Top 10 unpleasant surprises of all time right there. Bargain hunter for Sophia, and it's double sprints for GXP. Not the vengeance you'd expect from Ling. I understand it though, you really want to try to utilize the mobility to rotate around. Kyo is just desperately looking for level 4, gets stunned up by the Blade Surge and chewed away from a possible level 4. Lemma is going to have to look for a kill. Lemma doesn't have flicker.
Okay, nice.
But GCT cannot threaten Lemma enough. I don't know. Now, I think everybody's getting a little antsy. That's a very early retribution for what? Even.
ឥឡូវអស់ពីមួយយើងពី2ម្ដងដល់2ម្ដង2ពី2ដង4ពី3ដង6ពី4ដង8
able to deal with Lubon just yet. Not until we're expecting to see that War Axe or maybe anti-heal. Really depends on the scenario. For this very first turtle, looks like everybody is looking for a piece of it.
សម្រាប់បុកលុយ 1000 រៀលធ្វើអាគីបាញ់នោះណាស់ពេលចាញ់ឌីលក្មេងសុតអន់
too long to set up for the neutral objective just because Ling was behind in level. At least Foz got a level lead with the Suyo. So it's a 7 plus a retry advantage. GXP finally utilizing this lead right now to go straight for him. But Kyoe's finally hit level 4.
We did great.
Ooh! Call here, lockdown 2. In
Joe! Whoa! Like a linkមួយ Lemma! Can you do it? Yes! What a trade!
Able to flicker forward. 2 for 2, despite everything that happened.
2 ដែលយើងបានទៅថត
2 trade turning into a 3 for
ពេលនេះ
2
បាន fight seal
trade now. Winning able to get so much money down on the bottom side. It's almost like it's deja vu every single game. Galaxy Phoenix go for Turtle 1, they get it, but the team fight is lost. Then you see Winnie, who doesn't rotate, get goal down below. But this time Tokyo got a kill.
អត់តែ late game យើងមាន hero late ច្រើនបើយើង compare
Tokyo hasn't been able to be active now. It's a dive perhaps on Winnie. Zamanfor's already utilized.
ធ្វើអី អត់ត្រាក់ទេងាប់ក្រែងចើឡើយ
I was thinking whether or not they were going to use the glorious pathway early on, but they just use it as a disengage mechanic. At least before in the previous game when he got dived instantaneously after that turtle. This time round a little bit more counterplay for the laners. Sophia making sure that Quajo just taken so much damage, already chunked to 50% as Lima continues.
Oh, look man, nice one.
Steed, but that's only going to trade.
បាត់ level Kiowe មួយសូលេងឯងនេះយកអាយុទ្ធសាស្ត្រហ្វីលីពីនវាយយើងណាស់នេះ
It happened as well earlier in game number 2 and they actually won the early game. So
1 2 2 1ម្ដង1 1 2ដង2 1 3ដង3 1 4ដង4 1 5ដង5 1 6ដង5 1 អសុបលេងដែរហ្នឹងខ្ញុំឯង
GCT a bit of a leeway in the early game to even out the odds. But now with the Lilia, it's just so safe, especially with the sprint and the black shoes. So everybody can do their own thing while Sophia just clears out mid. I mean, Sophia's just the tax collector as well, right? But alongside with Sean, as soon as they start leaving that wave, it's not only information, but also, hey, I've been chunked up pretty hard on my way here.
Midland clear, Roma, gang, Winnie. Alright, that's good.
I don't think Winnie is going to move, but Tokyo needs to clear this wave fast.
1 7ដង5 2
See it, Foz already on the neutral objective. Kyo is level 6. Foz
កុំឲ្យនិយាយនៅជាប់អាពាក្យមួយហ្នឹងយើងមិនបានយើងសូត្រមេលេដែរអូ look at that alright គេ away អស់លៀមមាត់ច្រឡំគេ away អស់សេះ sorry គេ away អស់លៀមមាត់អញ nice លេងថយលេង
Just barely. They might look for the dive here.
អូអានោះមានកដោកដាក់កដោកឡើយកដោកអូយរត់ប្រយចាយជាតិ
with the Sky Piercer. That should be first item, right? Is it a Fury Hammer?
គេយកត្រេតនេះ
Sky Piercer seems like it at this point, right? It's only 13k overall total. Let's flip the items and yep. There we go. Hunter Strike already complete. Man,
This is going to be a little difficult because now that Tokyo again, they're trying to make sure that Tokyo not only does not die but is able to ramp up in terms of money, so they have a stronger finisher after their big combos with the RWM.
And again, it's Geltec Cyber team always doing such a good job.
Sophia, nice.
Getting all of the neutral objectives.
The fuck.
Very efficient. They capitalize and convert on these objectives like it's nothing. We trying to siege. Now, if she waits a bit too long, could be disastrous because it is an Esmeralda.
Oh, they're already dropping down the Salmon Force. They're trying to cut them off. This snipe might not be good, but they flicker out of the way. Winnie losing an important battle spell. And GXP putting some decent damage onto the tier 1. Interception. This Phantom Steed comes through. Raging Sandstorm Alpha on top of you. Here. And so right now draws the battle line again. WM already coming out and they just need one more They don't give up their life for it.
Impeccable zoning from GCT and the decision making is just so clean. Down below they go. Wait out the flicker. There's a that opened a window to punish, to convert on an objective. No structures for GXP. They can finally get on the board right now with a turret up top, but with the bottom wave pushing again, it forces Winnie to stay put as GCT will have a man advantage coming into the final turtle fight.
It's still fancy at the end of the day, and it's only 6 minutes and 5 seconds. I don't know how long they can keep that up. It's just high tension so far. But let's look at the goal. That goal is leading into 2 different sides, but it's so minuscule overall. Already dead, and now they're going to go for Sophia after the black shoes. Sprint. Is going to chase them down with the help of Kyoe, who finds the double. This should be a free turtle, but is there going to be a trade back?
No. The only trade is a tier 1 down below, and I don't think it's worth it at all. There's no way for them to get to tier 2. And it's just so sad. GCT, but Kyoe is on a horse every single time.
Oh no, Winnie might be in some trouble, but at least for Lima is able to clear up a decent chunk of the way.
Nice one.
Quicksand got to keep him alive, and they managed to protect mid tier 1, the most important structure on the land of Dawn.
Yet again, they bait out these crucial abilities for the defense. Hell, fuck, get stunned up with the Law and Order.
This might be some trouble here. Sophia trying to get the space back, but SophKH is not making it easy for all the taxation. She's looking for some reimbursement. Black Shoes already force the flicker out of position. No RWM, as now they drop the glorious pathway, but Tokyo is finally here. Ling is in trouble.
Ling.
To clean it up. Winnie able to get the
Sophia Road, my
Sophia. It was good, but they finally get Sophia at the very end. 2-0 for GCT.
Oh my lord. Now it's a falling star moon onto Winnie. Doesn't have the Zaman Force Paz waiting on the orange bush over there, but it's GCT taking everything away. All of the control. Fa not even given the space to clear her own orange buff. It'll be fed over to Tokyo. And the turret down below.
This one skirmish showed so much attitude from GCT. They're like, for everything that happened in the early game, just a slap on the wrist, and just to make sure that it hurts the most, we'll break your pinky while you're at it.
It's a curb stomp on the wrist, not just a slap right now, especially with Kyoe on that Phantom Steed. Oh my lord.
It's escalation, man. It's escalation.
Sophia man tu ke
we go start going for your fingers. If your fingers aren't enough, we start going for the ankles.
Oh,
nothing is safe. Joints are meant to be broken here.
The good thing for GXP is that Tokyo's got the Sky Piercer early, but there's no stacks on it, right? So there's something there, and you can already see that burst damage. Oh god. Luckily, Tokyo doesn't have Sky Piercer stacks. If she does, could have been 2 kills over.
And this is just only a 4.5k lead, right? Holy Shielding's getting cut down. And Lima died straight away to the Sky Piercer for a second, almost connecting as well. SophKH catches it with the end of the Void Rift. Now, looking to get at least 1 inhibitor, make their time worth it here. Fa in the back line, potentially looking for a flank. In time. And now, Sophia forced to use the ult already. Somebody's got to do something. They're giving up too much here. Another inhibitor might just fall.
Tay về nha má ơi, if mùi cái đánh chưa?
GCT get away with daylight robbery.
Hot lot bọc đạch pi play anh ơi.
Up on GXP. Asked him for cash.
Ngõ má ơi.
Went straight for the headshot. No cash, bro.
Má nè, cái đánh chưa Sky Piercer má nè.
Oh my goodness.
Fan tao mình stack Sky Piercer mà. Tranh si hợp bờ đấy.
for a desperate time
nhưng
right
thật can
now.
led
Makes
kháng á,
sense because
trả
they
nhưng
need
thật can led
something
đấy nè.
back when they go for a team fight. They need an
Tại dân bạc
execute.
rồi, dân thời tục chẹt sót á. Dân lên đây dân thời tục chẹt sót á.
One of them, Liuban, Kyoe, and Kuejo. We can talk about Tokyo and Sonjika. Maybe GXP could flank, but I don't even think it'll be enough to take them down. I think right now, Fa just doesn't have the resources to deal any damage, not even against these backliners.
Yeah, I mean, the truth of the matter is just the lack of money. Like, they have tools that they could potentially outdo, but it doesn't make a difference if you're getting stat checked every single time. Now the Lord is going to walk towards that base.
Macro play. Ấy giờ này có thua bàn lỗi.
អរគុណសូមគុណចានពិសេសសម្រាប់បុកលុយ50សេនទោះចាញ់ឬឈ្នះយើងគួរតែលើកទឹកចិត្តគាត់ក្រតែមួយ
ម៉ែតែមួយហ្នឹង
It's all about clearing the way. That's step number 1. Can they deal with it? They have the Lilium walks out of range, can't use the glooms, and the Lord is free. Oh, they walk through, and all of a sudden it's over. Tokyo takes out Lima instantaneously.
The
momentum is big, and Galtech Cyber Team wanted to make sure that everybody here remembers the name. It may be a third place match, but that's an extra 20,000 in the bank. GG well played for Galtech Cyber Team. That game wasn't just a stomp, it was a slaughter. And Galtech Cyber Team proved to the world that they are indeed worthy of this stage, a top 3 at MWI.
Truly a statement being made here. Such impending
nhưng bây đã chấp đám tranh tới vì performance thôi này chấp đám tranh tới performance.
Guaranteed finish in game 3. It was a stomp throughout. They really punished every little mistake that GXP made, and we get to see it again here how clinical it was. It was Sophia walking out of the range of the glooms, but it was Sonjika that actually poked her out of it. So it was another forced error, and Tokyo, again, the slaughterfest continued as she just rained down upon Galaxy Phoenix.
Oh, man, they tried to be proactive. I gotta give it a GXP. There were moments in this game where they were looking for something, but you can tell that once the gas ran out, they were just running on fumes. It just wasn't enough, but so happy for how this all played out. We're going to be throwing it over to the stage with an interview with the help of Cheryl. Take it away.
Có thua bàn lỗi.
This is not the championship, even though this is not
អរគុណ C វាសាលសម្រាប់បុកលុយ$1 អាមេរិក
a win for the EECA region. You guys have definitely put EECA on the map with this win. You guys are leaving France here on a win. What a spectacular day for you guys still. So what does it mean for you guys, to win this and, put EECA in top 3?
I think we can say the same. It's a big victory for EECA, and for our team, it's best results above all of years from MWI to our region.
We are so very proud of you, and we believe everybody who is watching at home are very proud of you ladies as well. Now, it has been quite a journey, so can you share with us what have you and the girls from Galtech Cyber Team learned from this experience here at MWI?
In my opinion, the best experience what we have at this tournament is the practice of our teams from our regions like Philippines, and it's the best way to be stronger.
Now that you guys have secured this win, and leaving France on a high, is there anything you would like to say to all of your supporters back home who are cheering on you guys?
Of course, I want to say
អរគុណ Spider-Man សម្រាប់បុកលុយ$1 អាមេរិកមកពីពូខ្នុយគ្នាធ្វើបានល្អហើយ
It's so important to us, and thank you for my friends, to Marbon, and I would like to say it's on Russian because it's very important to our region. Спасибо всем, кто поддерживал нас на пути в этом турнире. Мы на самом деле очень довольны результатом. Всем спасибо еще раз. Нам была очень важна ваша поддержка. Очень надеемся, что в следующем году мы вернемся намного сильнее. Отдельный привет моим родителям, Ане и Марбону.
Congratulations on that win still. Remember the name. It is Galtech Cyber Team completing their journey here at MWI with a podium finish. Nevertheless, back to you guys at the studio.
Mình có thể CC váy ban rồi.
អរគុណសូគុណកិនសាក់សម្រាប់បុកលុយ25សេនមកពីខ្លួនទាំងអស់
Cầm họ crop yang mà bị cái nơi. Chọn bạc skin đây này. Mà những bạc skin. Bạc skin top up mới sao?
Celtic Cyber Team came into the tournament with a mission. It was to gain the championship. Yes, they might have fell short.
Ai nè ơi, phần này em ấy nè. To. Mùi nghe nên con riêng bạn con tăng phim sao mình mà hai gì con để set bạn này. Chẳng tới vì passport đo rộng, plei cài, plei chất, là đo plei chất con bạnในการ perform ตัวอย่างណាđây có con ធ្វើអ្វីដែលគាត់គួរទៅធ្វើហើយនេះចិត្តខ្ញុំទេដល់គ្នាគិតមិនគិតតើអាហ្នឹងខ្ញុំពិបាកហាមណាព្រោះនិយាយឡើងឆ្អែតឆ្អន់ហើយតើឥឡូវយើងមកបើក skin សិនបាទនេះបើក skin នេះបើក skin free fire អេបើក skin street fighter street fighter VSHOP ខ្ញុំអស់លុយណាអើយសរសើរអស់លុយហ៎ អស់លុយដាក់លុយសិនចាំឡើងនេះនៅទៀតហ្នឹងខ្នើយខុសទៀតមិនគួរណាខ្នើយមើល live ខាងស្អែកខ្នើយមើល live ខ្ញុំហ្មងចាំមិនដឹងអញ្ចឹងដេញខ្នើយចេញសិនណាហើយឡើយលោកគ្រូមកមើល live កូនលោកអញ្ចឹងតោះមិនអីគាត់ធ្វើបានល្អណាស់ចាហ្នឹង event ហ្នឹង top up ហ្មងណា top up ហ្មង diamond មើលទៅ 250 diamond អូខេយើងធ្វើ event top up បង top up តាម VSHOPKH តាមមកយើងបើកអា4អាហារនេះមួយមកអរគុណណាំងសូភិកសម្រាប់បុកលុយ 1000 រៀលអរគុណ 1000 រៀលឥឡូវបងបើក skin ណានេះនេះយើងនេះមកអញនេះឆាយតន់ចូលទេអត់ទេចាំមិញខ្ញុំឃើញ world ចូលហើយចាំផ្លែដល់នេះខ្ញុំដាក់កូដមកមានកូដទៀតចូលយ៉ាងនេះទៅនងហ៎អូខេចាំផ្លែវាយកូដឲ្យមកវិញអូខេនេះវាយកូដចូលហើយនេះណែ20 ticket ទៀតអូដាក់នឹងអត់រន្ធត់ទេដាក់នឹងអត់រន្ធត់វុចនេះ9ចុយអស់បាត់បាន900 1002មិញខ្ញុំបើក450ឥឡូវបើក450មួយទៀតបាទ20 ដងណាឥឡូវយើងបើកអស់20 ដងចុះ20 ដង30 ដង 40 ដងបានណានេះ40បាន40បានមួយទៀតបាននេះមួយទៀតបាន 100% មួយទៀតបាន 100% បាន skin ទៀត alright let's do យកប៉ាគីតូ alright ប៉ាគីតូអូបើយើងមកពី1400ដល់បាន fan skin អូខេបាក់មួយទៀតមក Trời mẹ sờ 50 ទៀត Stir 50 mà nè mày. Nè pon 4 này. Anh em pon 3 ហ្នឹង 4 này 2 đây mà đá cho đâu lại. 50 đón 60 đòn. 60 đòn. Ní là cục mà. Bột vô này một điện báo. Đạn này điểm lấp. Đi tàu. Mắt mắt cross mũi áp khắc sao lấy áp khắc lấy pen skin trời pen skin đi ta dọn mày nè ơi phải nó đi ta dọn mày
con so con ken xác សម្រាប់បុកលុយ25 សេនបងឯងមើលតា World Cup ទៅយកប្រទេសណាប្រទេសនឹងចាញ់
មែនតាអូគ្រប់យ៉ាងមកពីខ្នុយគ្រប់កំហោគ្រប់យ៉ាងមកពីខ្នុយចូលចិត្តធ្វើអីតតុយមួយតើឡើយយើងមើលការប្រកួតវិញ
From Galaxy Phoenix, they did pick up the Lilia, finally, you said thank you, and they had decent amounts of damage, but at the same time, that forced them to play close range. That forced them to be a bit more up close toward their opponents, which I think the Granger greatly took advantage of, because he had to play from a distance. There was no one else trying to hunt her down, and Tokyo, in that game, probably one of the biggest problems, aside from the fact that both the Hylos and the Leomord were just running through this lineup of GXP.
Who is Tokyo as a player? Because obviously we talk a lot about Kiowe. Liabun also gets a lot of attention. Sanjike, but Tokyo as one of the competitors, one of the great competitors, podium now. Who is she?
Well, someone that shows that even if there is an impossible task in front of you, you can make it work. And if there is an easy task in front of you, that makes it look easy. There was an iconic play that she pulled off in Stream B, wherein the team accidentally sent her alone with a teleport amidst 5 members of their opponents.
That's insane.
And she got away with it, and she got to turn it around with the rest of her team.
That's actually incredible. Hey, sometimes staying alive is the best play. Speaking of plays, let's take a look at a couple of them from that game number 3. This is where we start 7 minutes and 50 seconds.